yeah, they're not too confident on it. They haven't played that many reps on it, but they're yet to lose it in the last 3 months. They've played 6 games, they've won 6 games, and Monte's statistical weakest map is Nuke. So I think that's where they could have had some strategical advantage, because I think when it comes to individuals, okay, yeah, Team Space, if they've got heavy hitters, but I think Monte, we've mentioned their 2 newest additions, Deha and Hades. They played at the top level, so I think the vetoes is actually going to be quite tough for Team Space, because when it comes to maps like Anubis, like Dust, that both Monte and Team Space are both very well versed on, it's just going to come down to the individuals.
Yeah, I'm going to pose you a question quickly, CMD, because look, you've seen that pick. Team Space don't punish Monte with that nuke, which means that they're playing their own game. How much do you value, especially in a round of 16 game where you've made it through the group stage, the team that is sort of battling through and almost the underdog, playing their own game rather than trying to anti-strat their opponent?
Yeah, I think it really does actually show the maturity of this roster. It doesn't feel like they're playing with the mindset of, we're the underdogs, let's punish them. It's more of, yeah, let's just play what we can do best. They're a roster that maybe can be punished naturally on our maps. Why force us onto something that we're maybe not particularly the most confident on either? Sure, we've got some very decent results on Nuke, but maybe not so much. They are a little inconsistent. There are times where they don't look as solid on the map, but they do have some good results on it, but not against some of the greatest teams. I really do like that they are playing their own game. I like that they're playing the maps that they're most comfortable playing. I really do think this is actually going to be a very close game. I don't think coming into this is the one where the invited teams are the heavy favourite, something like the 9Z game potentially. I actually do think I would edge to say Team Space are probably who I would go lean towards in this game actually. And with the vetoes, I actually do really like that they've selected maps that they're comfortable on. I think their individuals can thrive on it, and I really do think they can punish on it as well.
Okay, so you think Team Space are going to take it down?
I don't know why, I've got a huge feeling that Team Space are going to win this one.
Okay. Zola, are you being best friends with you, Joe, for this, or are you going to argue with it?
Never. I argue with Charlie all the time on the broadcast. I'm going Monte every day. I think when you look at the caliber of players on Monte, you've got the experience when it comes to a player like Stiko, who's been in the scene for, 6 years now. Obviously, that was when he kind of ended his time on Mouse. So he's got a great understanding for the game, and then you've got the heavy hitters, you've got the Deha, you've got the Hades, and I think when you've got players like that who not only have experience and firepower, that's something that you are going to kind of take into account, and with the fact that I think they're currently sitting at 56 on HLTV, and that's with the new additions to the team. We talk about how when recent roster changes come through, you always see a team dropping in the rankings quite heavily, yet they've still retained their kind of status, and I think Monte are going to look very good today. I'm not saying it's going to be a 2-0, but I think, look, they look good on Dust, they're clearly confident on Verti, so I think it could be a Monte 2-0, but otherwise I think it's going to be Monte taking it.
Oh, God, I'll add something in,
Okay.
and that is, I think of all the maps to pick at the moment, if you're Monte, Vertigo feels like it's got the most potential sort of banana skins that they could trip up on, and I'm kind of scared, because look, their win rate's not the best, I'm going to be real with you, and for Team Space, I know they're not bad on Vertigo, I know recent results haven't really shown it, but with that being said, we've had a player break in the middle of all of these as well, so you've got to kind of take that into account, burnout for the amount of teams that are kind of going through this online grind. I want it to work for Monte, don't get me wrong, I'm not being a hater, but what I am saying is, I think of all the maps to pick, CMD, I think Vertigo may be a little bit of a scary one.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you mentioned the player break, and I think that's a really interesting point to talk about, especially when it comes to Team Space. We haven't actually seen them play Vertigo in like over 2 months, so we haven't, I'm hoping we've actually seen them work a little bit on their Vertigo, and maybe this just happens to be the game that we're going to finally get to see it put into fruition. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I do think Vertigo right now, teams still haven't fully found out a way around, obviously, the new wall being removed on the map. I think there's a lot of timings that can be taken towards a lot more. I think for some of the players on Team Space, they're going to really look to punish, especially in a closer, scrappier game if it gets there. I think Vertigo, yeah, it's got a lot of upset potential.
Yeah, I think it's a weird one. You look at Mirage, it's their most played, it's a better win rate for them, it's the same for Team Space. Mirage clearly a comfort ground for Monte. Maybe they're just steering clear of it because they know it could be a little bit more of a puggy map. So I think that just doubles down into the fact that, yeah, Team Space are playing their own game. Maybe Monte are trying to kind of have to use, you know, their opponent's weaknesses. And it doesn't give much confidence for Monte because Mirage, it would have been a perfect map for them. But yeah, I'm not too sure why they didn't pick it. I guess that's something that we can talk about if Team Space do take map number 1. I guess we can just say, look, Monte, you understand you wanted to go for the punish pick, but maybe just go to your own comfort zone. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be an odd one. I think Monte, if they can hit the ground running on Vertigo, I think, yeah, okay, they can trip up, yeah, they can mess up, but I think at the same time they're going to be confident, aren't they?
Well, good news. There's no more speculation. It's time to jump into the game. I will depart, and for you boys, please take it away on Vertigo.
Look, Charlie, Team Space obviously going to be starting on the CT side. We talk about Vertigo being a little bit more team dependent, but as you said, with the changes, kind of with that connector, the new wall being kind of bulldozed down, I think it just leaves for a little bit more of an importance for middle.
I don't know if we've actually seen Team Space play an official with this no updated Vertigo, so it's going to be fascinating to see. I'm liking the early mid setup. X5 boosted up. Fozil nearby to take away pressure. You got Vert as well from Elevator. They are going to have their contact come towards them. Boost. Nico's going to be the first going in. The flashbang is excellent though. But the kills are still going the way of the CTs, and so far the mid hold is done enough to force anyone else back. And now a 5-on-3 for Team Space.
Well, Charlie, look, it's a pistol round. We talk about how there can always be these crazy moments still, but looking at the position of Danis, it's going to be something that I don't think the T's are ready for. And Vert, his goal, his job, just to try and take contact away, should be able to find Hades towards Gap, but Danis still sitting tall. I like the idea of the boost. Danis could peek at any moment and find them both, but it just goes to show how kind of confident Monte are that Sandbags not a position they need to worry about. Slowly Monte look to creep, and eventually Danis going to be peeking out, doubles down, could find the third as well, but Hades eliminates. A 1v5 on pistol though, at least a P250 in hand. Don't think it'll matter much though as he goes into the crunch of the double dualies. X5 will find, gets his second of the round, and Team Space, a confident and comfortable pistol round, keeping 4 players alive. And for Fozil, X5 and Trunic, they can get those easy upgrades when it comes to full head armor. So weaponry here for Team Space should be pretty good, and Monte, not the greatest of starts on their map selection.
Early start going really well. You mentioned the lack of sort of concern for Sandbags. Does come back to haunt the T's. Danis swinging on out, finding 2. And just making that round pretty much impossible for Hades.
It was great discipline from Danis though. I think it's just the fact that he takes his time, waits until the clock is on its kind of final hour, and then he peaks, because that's when Monte are least likely to be worried. I think when they first emerge up ramp, Sandbags, a second thought, but gone out of their minds. With this just being the eco from Monte, Team Space should be able to take this one pretty convincingly. But look at the weaponry, as I mentioned before. We've got 4 rifles in play for Space, just the 1 MP9 on Vert. Creep up closer than X5. One of the nicest of scenarios, but Danis rotating in, rotating down, but Stiko, okay. Glock in hand, and he finds 2. The native Fozil will eliminate, but at least weaponry can be upgraded, I guess, for Fozil. Vert, far too far away, but yeah, I think Monte not going to be too disappointed, especially with Stiko getting that double.
I actually think the worst position to play against sort of on an anti-eco against Glock playing on the backside of that railing. That sounds horrendous to me.
There's no escape.
Almost did, to be fair, but yeah, it doesn't sound brilliant. Either way, Monte, weapons in hand, options to try to instantly get around on the board after losing the pistol. Obviously still a couple of weaker weapons, or at least just the MP9 in fact, really, for Vert. And at any point, Team Space are going to look to punish this mid.
Yeah, I like the idea here from Space. Stiko liking it a little more, finds Danis, no swing from Trunic. And Stiko is low, so Trunic can get this trade. Ooh, Stiko now got the information.
Attempts to back away, worried that Trunic's holding, but in fact, he has just fallen back. Double B setup should bait and Vert massively. And Vert finally strikes, but 1-for-1 for an MP9. Not going to be disappointed with that. The fact that Stico's been chipped away at as well, Team Space can eliminate pretty comfortably. Very split here though for Monte. Massively isolated, but seems as though Monte are going to slowly make their way towards B, but Fozil unsuspecting of his position, surely. We'll have a fast rotation in Trunic as well, and with a lot of utility. Monte are playing these rounds very slowly, but just utility in hand. Simple find for Fozil, and as mentioned before, Trunic, plenty of pieces of util along the belt.
He's
Look how much damage the mallet has done.
Oh, just a swing. X5 finds nothing. Trunic only good for one. Look how low the final two Monte players are. It felt like that was a really good attempt from Team Space, but everyone kind of stayed around a little longer than perhaps they should have. Also, after finding the first and not able to clearly find the second, it feels like you just back out of there. Keep it as a level man advantage. You put the T's in a really tricky position as it is.
It was tough. It seemed as though if Team Space just looked to kind of hold and not peek, double kills would have been pretty easy, but look what it's done for the finances straight away, just the eco for Space.
The flashbang on Trunic.
Oh dear, gonna be blinded, but the problem is he's so far away, he can just get himself back to safety. Steps will have been heard there from Vert. Molly coming over the top. Oh, the flash only blinding his teammates, in fact.
And he's playing it passively enough as it is that won't even face any contact at all. Krasnov need to probe towards it. He has a good idea of the Heaven player. Taking significant space, and the bomb will eventually get planted, and Monte will set the time limit on this round.
The shadow spotted. You'd assume MQ finds that pick, but no. Vert, in fact, to eliminate Hades in the hopes of finding plenty. Vert just tucked away here. Eventually spotted. Hades tasked with finding him, realizing can't do damage through the kind of the metal grate. Still finds. Something I wanted to point out when we were looking a little bit at the Monte roster, a player that kind of goes a little bit under the radar, and a player that I'm quite happy he's found his footing in one roster is Krasnov. I feel like he was on plenty of different kind of Polish rosters for quite some time, just jumping around, whether it's Los Kogotos, AGO, PG Torao. But I'm happy that he's kind of found his footing, found his home, because Krasnov's a player that I think always, he can have big moments, but goes a little bit under the radar. But the fact that he's kind of kept himself within this Monte team, and they've done a lot, winning what? They won ESL Challenger Yongping in 2023, that's, a big event for them. Just goes to show that this Monte roster is looking strong, and with the recent changes, I think they're only going to get better.
I think it just depends potentially how fast can they solidify, but also, like Brandon said, sort of getting some of these guys their confidence back is really going to be massive. Feels like if everyone's playing at their top form, this roster can be terrifying.
Yeah, most definitely. I kind of like the passive approach that Stico's taking towards middle. I think he realises that Team Space are going to look to try and take some kind of aggressive fights. Obviously, we saw the success that Stico had in the last weaponry investment from Team Space. But opportunity now for Monte to take the lead, and their silent aggression towards A could really catch out Team Space. But with the util coming down, Space now going to have the inclination.
Five is gonna have a look towards Gap again. Flashbang's nice to get some info, nothing spotted. 35 seconds on the clock. Monte have to start to make a decision now. The bomb is making its way up towards A.
The problem that Team Space are going to find is they've got no utility to try and defend. Plenty of flashes here on the side of Monte. And this is where Team Space might just have to kind of back away from the bomb site, give it up, but as these flashes come over, somehow the kill's not coming through. DemQ, two opportunities here. They need to deal with X5. He's going to creep his way up catwalk. Kraz now finding Danis though is a big pick. And with Stiko late lurking towards middle, a simple find for Verb. As I said, they need to deal with X5. He's able to get the double, and with the denial of the bomb plant, Team Space victorious in this one. They had no utility, Charlie. They had no right winning that one, but it was just the missed shots there from Demq. It's devastating, but all it takes is a bit of a misspray, timing on the swing not working well, and the round goes the way of their opponents.
Yeah, it did also always look a bit sketchy when the bomb's going down with 7 seconds on the clock and no kills being found for Monte. That's the issue. You want to play this slower, played style of CS that is going to rely often on very perfect coordination in these late rounds, but not to be here. Trunic finding the first. Stiko thinking better of going for the swing, knowing that if he goes for the swing and goes down, that will end the round likely. Bit of typing in chat, but I'm not sure if it's a restart. Yes, it is. Potentially asked a bit before any damage was found, any kills were found.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, well, it must be a bit tough, I guess, but maybe with the typing happening, players were just running around and it would have been Trunic who didn't realise. I'm not too sure, but yeah, I wanted to point out, I like the different approach that Monte takes towards the middle. The double push, it's clear that Trunic was a little bit caught off guard. Still fine to pick, but it's the fact that Monte, they played really passive towards middle. They wanted to change up the pace. Okay, yeah, it's a little bit disappointing that the round was restarted, but then at the same time, they lost the pick. So Monte have kind of shown their hand in this round and might need to opt for a different style, but it's the fact that X5 is just able to swing out there from Catwalk and deny the plant. Why is no one holding? It's the only place that kind of bomb could have been denied from.
Yeah, I think that just the moments where your communication really does get tested to the limit, and clearly gaps were formed, but bit of an interesting game so far. Vertigo always is one of those maps that doesn't really feel like until a little later on you've got a bit of an idea as where it could head. So I've seen a lot of pretty back and forth first halves on this map, and like I said, Team Space, this is the first time I'm watching them play this map in over 2 months.
The thing is, though, when you look at the recent results from Monte on Vertigo, it was kind of a 13-5 loss to Sashi. It was a 22-20 loss to ZT. Yes, they bested Koi, but it went the distance. They've not really looked too comfortable on Vertigo. Okay, yeah, there's a fair few close losses, a fair few overtime losses, but I think Monte trying to pick into their teams or their opponents' weaknesses is a bit of a tough one. It's one of those decisions where I think if you get it right, then brilliant. But so far, Team Space have looked good. Even in the round where they have no utility, they're playing a 5v5 kind of site defense, it still works out for them. And it's just the fact that I feel like Monte, they've been playing a lot of these rounds very, very slowly. And I think when you go for that approach, there's got to be kind of so much, such a strong plan of, look, we can't leave gaps. Because if you're planting the bomb, as you said, Charlie, at 7 seconds, doesn't matter how good the site take is, it's the fact that X5 not only was able to swing and deny the plant, but he could get a second as well.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has been a bit of a shaky and a bit of a mixed bag of results for Monte. I mean, clearly they are comfortable enough to pick the map here. They're going to realise that Team Space are no slouch on this map, and not showing their respect, so they will get punished for it. But yeah, we have seen a few times Monte play this map after the player break-in. Still similar sentiment, still reasonably shaky.
Flashbang's coming through and damage dealt to D. Trunic will find Kraz now, but Hades' trade is key, and Vert's low HP as well. Monte, though, don't opt to push through. The realisation there could be a second player really in waiting here.
Pretty much the same scenario for both teams. You've got to kill a piece and an insane amount of damage. They could actually find that kill now. Boosting Demq up, but spotted and found.
Ooh, Fozil. So much damage dealt to Hades. Two of these players are low HP. We've got an HE grenade on Danis, but DemQ will find important pick. Danis using the HE to block the smoke, but in fact, he will fall to Stiko. It's all on X5. A 1v4, but a possible one at that as he finds Stiko. DemQ, the only healthy player remaining. We are going to be seeing Diha and Hades make their way back here towards A. And X5, not going to be ready for this, not in the slightest.
I mean, if he finds DemQ, it might not really matter how ready he is.
Hades is going to make his way back towards B. I don't mind it. And X5 slowly shifting back into elevator. Minimal time here, but correct decision. Timing is good for X5. Looks like he's going to give this one a go. He knows that Hades is low. That information will have been relayed, and without a kit, X5 is going to need to hurry things along. There should be a kit drop somewhere, especially as there's 3 casualties for team space on the bomb site.
Hades has gone reasonably far away from this B bomb site.
Ooh, finally spotted. X5 realising, look, if I don't have the drop on my opponents here, no point giving this one a go. So Monte successful here.
Another round though from Team Space where it feels they were so close to having it.
Yeah, definitely. But it's the fact that Fozzle goes down pretty comfortably. Same with Danis. The problem that both teams are facing, Charlie, and especially for Team Space, is the fact that these rounds have come close. It's been a bit back and forth, and the problem is Danis without the AWP. We talk about how, you know, such impact he can have with the AWP in hand, but he's not been able to have it yet.
Yeah, gonna be the same story from now. We did see the last eco. Well, last round was eco from Team Space. They're not interested in that this time. They want to force it. They want to press the issue. Monte are going for tactical balls. I think they're going to be aware that they could be an investment. So might see quite a bit of a speed change up, a bit more tempo.
Yeah, we've got a couple 5-7s in play. X5 could in fact just drop one across, and then players like Vert, like Danis, could bring out a Molotov. Maybe a smoke and a double flash. We've seen that the Team Space utility, they like to use quite a lot of it early doors, and not really much for them here. I like the idea of that A aggression. It was just a little bit unfortunate that Vert wasn't able to find that pick onto Diha, I believe. MP9 just dropping him down to 4 HP. It's a tough one.
Monte actually leaning pretty heavy towards B stairs early in this game. You know, a lot of rounds where they're having plenty of bodies trying to fight this, create some space here. It's a really great call for it. The nades landing towards white box, sent out that quad. They would have found themselves a kill.
Yeah, the thing for Team Space now is they know there's 3 players ready and waiting here towards B, and this is where I'd love to see the CTs look to take some control, whether it's towards middle, whether it's towards A, and we do have X5 holding down the fort towards ramp, but the problem is you want to get that AK involved. Player that we praise so heavily for Monte, Diha, yet to find himself a kill. Bit of a slow start, so still, Monte can make their way here towards B. Oh, the flash is so good, and Vert will find Diha.
I like that we got it from Diha's point of view, actually.
Yeah.
Let's see how brutal that really is. Just 30 seconds on the clock. We saw a round like this before. How things spiraled out of control. Look at the flash, how much time is delayed. It's 5 seconds and we haven't seen Monte progress at all.
Oh, nice single shot from Fozzle. Eventually falls to Hades. The way that Monte are playing is very one-dimensional. They have brought it down to this 2-on-2, but X5, he's going to be so fast in the back lines. Stiko is holding. Oh, the dead body that he shot at is devastating. The 5-7 will get one. Oh, gets the dink onto Hades, but sadly no kill for Trunic. Unfortunate scenario there for X5. You see him spot the T's head, but it's a dead body. We've all been there, but it's so tough.
I mean, I'll be honest, Brad, I think it's another round that probably should have went the way of Team Space again. And it's crazy to say this, but I truly do believe they should have won sort of 3 out of the 4 rounds that they've lost.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, the only one that they obviously should have is when they did end up ecoing. They've been so close. Monte's been playing very slow towards B and, I mean, towards A as well even. Just been playing very slow in general, but they're leaving it right down to the wire, and mistakes are happening. Things are going wrong, but they are managing just about to stabilise.
Yeah, nice treble here from Hades. We mentioned it just being the eco, we're not really expecting much from Team Space. But yeah, Charlie, I think it's one of those games that Space will look back on. If they lose Vertigo, they'll just, you know, it's such a disappointing kind of game to lose, because as you said, they'll look back at the rounds, oh yeah, we should have won that one, oh, that round was close, and if we did this instead. It's always so tough, because you understand that is Counter-Strike. Whoever wins the clutches, whoever kind of wins these tough scenarios can, you know, take the map, and probably should. And it's a tough one, because if Team Space do lose things here on Vertigo and it comes down to the wire and it comes close, we know that those few rounds would have been a massive difference maker.
Nade on to X5. Won't force him back though. In fact, might encourage him even. Out towards Gap, spots nothing.
Charlie, we're in round number 9. We're going to be heading into round number 10, and yet to see an orb.
Yeah, not even just seeing one purchase and sort of thrown on the map, just nothing.
No, yeah.
Not even an accidental purchase of it. You think it'd actually favour sort of how Monte are playing right now, playing very slowly. Maybe just getting it posted up, holding somewhere, but...
Yeah, I think once the AWP's in action for Team Space, I think we're going to be seeing Dennis play a little bit more towards the B-bomb side, because just getting posted up there towards headshot, you can find so much impact and action. Mid has been taken here from Monte, but the flash through the smoke is good. X5 doubles down. Dia, though, an explosive double to bring things back level. And Team Space, it's another scenario where things look good for them, but the trading not good enough. Speaking of trading, MQ goes 1 for 1 with a Mac in hand, but Hades a little bit alone here. Tap of the bomb to potentially force players forward. Very much prepared for Trunic. Oh, Hades. I think he might have just falsely cleared that. Smoke's gonna fade, but Dia can get the trade. Fossil finally emerges from a Guardian. And the round goes the way of Team Space in what should have been another round where there's a chance for a clutch. If Monte won that, I'd be so disappointed. I'd be so kind of heartbroken for Team Space.
I mean, extremely back and forth so far in this game. This is exactly how I think this game should go. I do want to see a bit of scrappy CS. I do want to see some questionable decisions, I mean, saying clutches, and right now I think we are seeing that a little bit, but Monte's still in the lead. Team Space finally get over that hump of losing these 1v1s in close rounds.
Yeah, the difficulty is if Hades planted default, we would have seen Dia find that pick, he would have got the kill, and it would have been that 2v1.
Finally though, Charlie, round number 10, and we've got the AWP in play. It's taken some time.
See what Hades can get to do with this. Already had a really good game with the rifle, so potentially that stopped him wanting to bring it out a little bit earlier. But here's the AWP. Hades and will go down. A lot of bodies lining up. No second kill found. Danis falls. Trunic still here towards mid. Has backup in the form of X5 and Vert by his side.
I like this push from Dia. Yeah, she's back away, in fact. Would have been a perfect timing to emerge. Steeko given a second chance of things, but we'll just be backing away to ladder.
A defense, very poor. Team Space have gone for this B gamble. The read from Monte's looking good. We should see Trunic rotating in just in time. The problem for Team Space is they've got no control towards middle, and with Monte going for these kind of late takes time and time again, mid could be that next point of contact, so not going to be easy. Utah coming over the top though, and Monte, they've let their intentions known. Trunic can find one, doubles down. In fact, it was Fossil to steal the kill away, and now Trunic falling back, Stiko posted up towards heaven. Molotov as well from Diha, attempting to deny the push out, but X5. Great awareness and team space. They string these rounds together. AWP can be saved, AK upgraded too. And this is where Monte, this is when things have gone a little bit wrong for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting in terms of what Brandon was speaking about when he said Vertigo feels like a map pick where potentially there's the most sort of banana skins for Monte. A lot of ways potentially to slip up and make these mistakes. I do think right now we're seeing the perfect signs of that. Due to this extremely slow T-side playstyle and these sort of final 15-20 second executes, without having plenty of information, players are getting caught out in positions. And Team Space, I think it's fair to say, they probably should have at least been 1, 2, 3 rounds ahead here. Yeah. And Monte could have definitely been punished a lot more for what they are. But I think right now on Monte's T side, we are seeing a lot of that come through.
Yeah, and I think if you're going for these late takes, I don't mind it at all, but it's the fact that they don't really have control. If they had maybe a late lurk towards middle or kind of a deep flank just taken on a timing, then it's brilliant. But it's the fact that Monte, they're all just staying as a pack, and when trying to execute the bomb site with very minimal time, they've got to take risks. They've got to kind of not clear angles fully, maybe not sending the right flashes, because in that moment, Fozzle should have been taken down. Trunic as well, they're just both kind of out in the open, but this is a much faster approach from Monte. It's caught out team space massively, and Diha was so close. Vert, ooh, in fact, the Molotov towards Guardian forces Vert back. Diha could have found that pick quite comfortably, but it's a 5-on-5 retake. And I mentioned about these late lurks, we are seeing one. We had a little bit of a look from Stiko towards middle, but now makes his way back to the side, but these fights not working nicely here for Monte, not in the slightest. Brought down to this 2 versus 5 scenario. Grey screen through the smoke. It's a 1v5 for Hades. He can double down, but that's all that can be found. And Team Space, they take the lead here now.
Yeah, much simpler round for Monte. Just a fast pop towards B. Diha takes plenty of control. And yeah, it does feel like that molly sort of saves Vert's life a little bit there. Diha peeking at any moment, finds that kill, man advantage Team Space. I mean, things do look good, but yeah, it feels like the kills in general just came through there. Very nice first 3, especially for Team Space. Flurry of kills and made that one near impossible there for Monte.
The fact that Stiko doesn't get that pick is devastating. Fozzle's not even looking at him. Full maybe 15 bullets fired there from the Glil. Final round of the half though, and Danis, although he's had a bit of a quiet game, he's had a couple opportunities with the AWP in hand now, and you can already see the effect that that's had. It's Zywoo, and simple shot. Can back away as well with X5 coming to his aid. But look at the damage. 59 points of health combined on all 3 Monte players.
A couple of players have been tagged down very low on the side of Team Space as well. I'm liking Vert's deep position here. Nice and early info, but still the T's are looking for something towards... Oh, that's so unfortunate. They've got the information. They know exactly where one of them is.
Yeah, and sadly there's no nade either. An HE grenade would have been perfect. They can obviously flash him in.
Well, D is certainly going to know Wazzle is here and will comfortably find that kill.
Yeah, the problem is Vert. He's been in the back lines for quite some time, but he's going to be late to spring the trap. Might not matter though, as Trunic once again here. He's in a good position. Still have 2 HE grenades in play. Danis. Could have been found by DemQ, but it's all on Stiko. Speak about how Stiko's got a lot of experience, but not going to be an easy 1 versus 3 in Team Space. They end the half with 7, and as you mentioned, Charlie, Team Space should have been the ones in the lead, but we could be looking at kind of a 9-3, a comfortable 8-4. I think Monte have been quite lucky not to be punished.
Yeah, it does feel like at least a couple of those rounds feel destined to have gone the way of Team Space. Monte wasn't the best looking T side from them that we have ever seen, but I mean, more importantly, it's going to be their CT side. This is, I mean, statistically their best side. I think it's a number of teams stronger sides, but in terms of recent form, Fred, the most recent games we've seen from them, which has been after the player break, they have significantly favoured this CT side.
Yeah,
almost 66% round win percentage in comparison to 28.9 from the team. So something interesting to just have a bit of a look at. But so far, Pistol's not going brilliantly their way. Trunic with a great couple of kills to be found.
He's just a lurk. He's just a fake towards A. D are currently holding towards middle, but Hades gonna peek. Needs to find that pick, but rotation's gonna come through now. D still having a look.
Oh, cleared somehow.
What?
Where are you looking?
I mean, swing onto him. Still finds the kill.
I'm very confused about that. That means X5 was getting into that position, just looking off the side of the skyscraper. Maybe
look, it's
looking
a nice
at the view.
Yeah.
I mean, can't blame it, to be fair. I'd probably be doing the same, but interesting to do so regardless. But this round goes the way of Team Space. 8-5. It's going to be the eco from Monte, so Space just up against the eco.
Yeah, Charlie, something I want to point out. Nearly half the rounds that Team Space found, it was from kind of a neglect from Monte about Catwalk. The amount of times that we saw, whether it was Trunic, whether it was Fozzel, just able to find impact from there. No trades, like kind of poor recognition from Monte. I think that it's something that they clearly haven't kind of adjusted to. We mentioned the connector being such a big kind of change, but it's just the fact that Team Space were able to find double kills there quite frequently. But we'll go down to Stiko. Luckily just a Mat 10, so not the end of the world, but Stiko again. What is going on? This is an eco. This is a couple pistols invested. Finally, Fozzel will stabilise with that double. But Stiko.
I mean, Stiko and this double dinking USP is still in play. But not for much longer. I mean, 3 kills found. They got very out of hand. Team Space will win just about. Money has been very much humbled by Monte. But, I mean, look, we're at 9-5 scoreline. Team Space winning a round like this here kind of counts as about sort of like 2.
Yeah.
If they are able to find 11 rounds this early doors, it feels like Monte's map pick could have slipped away before they could really get a chance at this stronger side. But either way, weapons are out now, utilities in play. This is the chance Monte have. We need to start seeing something from them. They're the invited team for a reason.
Already, Charlie, though, Team Space 4 rounds away from taking map 1. Very scary for Monte. I like the idea of the boost here. Just need to see a well-placed flashbang for Fozzel to rise. And now the util going to be coming over the top. The scratching his eyelids for quite some time. Eventually unblinded. We'll get the trade. It is going to be this B hit though. Danis waiting to elevate above the double boxes. Yet to strike. Eventually finds the pick, but a lot of damage has been dealt to both Danis and Vert. This is where Demq's nade could be huge, but he falls. For the fight, and this is going to be tough here. Diha will get the first though. Spots out the second. Still a low HP Vert to tangle with.
One goes down. Diha gonna elevate himself towards Guardian the Vert. I think just a bit closer. He's so aware of Trunic towards quad. Oh, Vert's timing could be very good.
Clear, yeah. Great round from Team Space, and the timing works well, but it's another moment where there's a fair bit of utility. The HE grenade would have been a big difference maker there for Demq, but Team Space find 10. This is looking very scary for Monte now.
Regardless of what happened on map number 1, I kind of don't want it to end. There's been so much back and forth nature to this game. Even just in rounds like this, it looked brilliant initially. for Team Space instantly goes back in Monte's favour before all of a sudden Team Space stabilise once again.
Yeah, it's...
And the rounds are so close as well. A thrill to watch, but Diha gets punished here from Fozil. And this partial investment. One of the heavy hitter weapons have been taken out.
Yeah, I think for Team Space, they've been looking very snappy. They've been looking very clinical when it comes to kind of just the fights. As individuals, Team Space have looked good, but Stiko now pretty much alone, and he gets a very nice 1D. Deals damage to X5 as well. Oh, Stiko on the D. Looking very good. I'll be honest, Stiko's probably had more impact with the pistols than he is the rifles. He's had a lot of big moments on these half-buys, on these ecos. We saw the USB double.
Hades will get the trade onto Kraz now, and it's all on Trunic. After finding plenty, spray transfer not good enough, and Monte, they steal a round away, and Charlie, it was necessary, it had to happen. Otherwise, it's 11 for Team Space, a 6-round lead with only 2 to find. Monte have kind of been given a gift, and they've got to take it.
It's doing so when it's a man disadvantage round as well. I mean, Stiko's some nice shots, didn't actually miss a shot, I don't think. At least hit a body shot on every single one. But yeah, Stiko should never be allowed to have that much free range with the Deagle. I'm surprised he hasn't been punished way sooner. The Yuto, I mean, he does a good job dodging the flashes, but he shouldn't really be allowed to make the utility space look so easy to get around. Impressive display regardless. Brilliant nade towards the B stairs.
That's the hero AK getting chipped away at massively. Vert, we get elevated up. Oh, nice find from Vert there. Hades will find Danisto.
Towards middle, and it's just going to force X5 back. I like the reposition here. Team Space, they show contact, they show kind of players towards the B-bomb site. Now they look to pivot. Ooh, Krasnow would have heard that step. Smoke in hand. Swing can come at any moment. Nice find from X5 though. Ooh, Krasnow. Not the healthiest anymore. We've got a man advantage for Team Space.
One smoke grenade, they are backing their way away from A and looking once again towards B.
I really like this.
Feel like they're not 100% sure in terms of where to lead to.
This is when Monte just needs to take a bit of a gamble. I'd love to see kind of a full gamble towards A or towards B, because I don't think they're going to have an easy task, an easy time of winning it if they split their defenses. But Diha got a tough task, and oh, timing is brilliant. Vert finds it. B-bomb site open, and it seems like they're going to be giving it a go. MQ can get one. Krasnow with an HE grenade could deny the bomb plant. He finds Fossil onto this 2 versus 2. The utility's been good here. A lot of liberties taken by Trunic, but in doing so, it gives up his life. X5 now, AK in hand, but no Kevlar. Body shots gonna be difficult here, but they're trying to evaluate. X5 still playing towards white box. They're so worried he's behind the smoke. They have a kit. Tap the bomb here. Oh, and finally been spotted. Krasnow finds a nice retake there from Monte. Even with the fact it was that 2 versus 4, but you look at the Team Space players. Players peeking quite unnecessarily.
Yeah, we Demke finds a really great kill to start things off. Just about catching a player as they cross towards generators, but other than that, yeah, a lot of fighting does go against Team Space in this one. Still a 3-round lead, and definitely hurt the finances of Monte quite significantly in that one.
Yeah, I like the idea from Team Space.
I mean,
It's
really putting them towards that breaking point, isn't it? Allowing the beat to be reset as soon as possible, and with one good round, Team Space could run away with this one.
Yeah, Team Space with a little bit more presence and pressure towards top ramp. MQ should do a lot. Heavily chips away at Danis, but Krasnow, he's hungry for these picks, but in doing so loses his life. X5, the important fight, and this could be where Team Space look to accelerate. Molly should slow them down, and we've got Hades rotating in. Orb in hand with the hopes of bringing things back level. MQ, he's not going to do whatsoever. X5 again. things go from bad to worse for Monte.
Still, all 3 CTs are here. There is the chance. This can go the way. Big fight to win. And Hades is a 3-on-3 once again.
Trunic. Bomb carrier spotted, but Trunic doubles down. And this is what I said. Trunic, he's in these no-win scenarios. He's trying to get himself out of the bomb site with the bomb on his back. And he can somehow find both. The orb's holding. Diha, going to be so unaware of Fozzle here. Second this smoke fades, Fozzle on the flank. It's just whether Diha can get that corner, but he certainly can't. Fozzle finds 11 now for Team Space.
I mean,
but how is Trunic been allowed to get back?
I mean, that felt impossible. Even if Trunic finds the first, but goes down on the second, that causes a lot of issues for Team Space, because that's the bomb. No teammate is particularly close to him. I think the closest would be Fozzle. Yeah, it really is a huge double from Trunic. Game defining, potentially. That's
look what it's
time
done
out
to the
from
money.
Space. Yeah, they're aware that this is likely last chance saloon for Monte. If they can best this, they'll take their opponent's map pick.
Yeah, and then that's something that Monte need to face off against in map 2. They've got a tall task ahead of them. At least it's Dust. At least it's a map that I feel like everyone's going to be fairly well versed on, but not over here on Vertigo. Not finished, but certainly not easy. It's been a tough game for both Diha and Krasnow. I feel like the decision-making of Krasnow hasn't been perfect. Kind of the peak towards ramp, if there was a flash coming overhead or kind of some utility or a second player, you'd understand it, you'd sympathise, but the decision-making hasn't been great. Krasnow, though, he's deep towards B.
I'm very curious where Hades' 21 kills have come from. I feel like we haven't mentioned it even too much in these sort of big multi-kill moments. And yet somehow he still keeps getting more and more kills.
Yeah, his T-side was, I think he was 12 and 5 at round 10. You know, he had a really good start. Slowed up a little bit.
Bit of early contact made towards B. That's now we're still sticking on by. Going for the occasional jiggle. Both teams actually leaning quite heavily towards B on their T side.
I think they just want to force the CTs to have to play 2 towards B. Thin out the A defences. Are still 3 players here for Monte. Stiko and Hades with a lot of work to do. As it is DemQ with that 5-7. Util coming over the top now, and Team Space, although time ticking, enough to make their way through. Surely a smoke there, the Deeg of Dem needing to just try and delay, take attention away. We'll get a pick, but Fozzle finding Stiko. Vert eliminating Hades. Although disadvantage here for Monte, players are low. Trunic found, that's the healthy one falling. And Diha quick to find Vert. With 7 seconds on the clock, safe to say. Also, I'd say keep himself alive, but it has gone down. Weaponry can be picked up. I think DemQ does a good job to not only find a pick, but just take all the attention away. It's unfortunate that Stiko only goes 1 for 1 there, but nice rotations from both Krasnow and Diha.
Yeah, all that information should have been gained from Bert, exactly where the final 2 were. It felt like a bit of a risk just to try to bomb in hand, jump across. Maybe take your AK out to see if you can maybe catch off a kill, because that isn't the best. But Monte do pass the test for now, and will keep themselves in contention to take Vertigo. You can see how scrappy the buy is in space.
It's been these kind of back and forth scenarios for quite some time, and if they continue, Team Space will cross that finish line. So Monte, they've got to solidify themselves on the CT side. You mentioned that this is their favoured side by far, but I've kind of yet to see the confidence that you'd assume from Monte's CT side.
Yeah, from a win rate percentage that they do have on the CT side. It doesn't feel like they're playing like they have that. And we can start to see it as this game does go on, as they properly have these full buys out. I don't think we've properly seen a chance, but everyone's got exactly what they want.
How has DMQ crept himself out of there? But the aggression towards Ramp is brilliant. And you mentioned Hades. He's got a lot of kills, but where are they coming from? Well, a ramp swing like that. Secure 2 keeps, obviously, DMQ alive.
Yeah, this force bite has been unraveled. Team Space haven't got anything done. Trunic and Fozzo, all that reside, all that remain for this Team Space roster, and some great shots are going to need to be hit.
First one comes through. Trunic finds Hades though. It's his third of the round and makes it 4. Nice ramp defense there from Hades. With this just being the eco from Space, Monte can attain double digits unless if somehow the Glocks prevail.
Yeah, bomb blunt would be quite nice, but I don't know if Monte are gonna give it up anywhere.
No.
Yeah, I mean, really strong ramp setup for that. Read it perfectly. Just a 1 kill found from the tees. It's a good call at least for Space. Mid has been open, has been left isolated. Stiko could walk into a few more players than you might expect.
Here's Hades, finding plenty as per usual. 28 and 24, Charlie. I feel like on every eco round that we've seen from Team Space, Hades has got a triple. I think that's where the kills have come from.
I mean, 1 round separates these teams now.
Again,
Monte
Charlie.
have a bit of a bank started to be grown up. This is where we can see their CT side. We can actually see them thrive a little bit. Even if they lose it around like this, we can see the AWP on Hades if he wants. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he wants to stick with a rifle, but yeah, this is Monte's best chance. You don't want to let around like this one slip now.
Flash is good, but not blinding, in fact. The idea, perfect. DMQ finding Danisto in with D, his trade. Gives Monte that man advantage. They're going to drop the Molotov, but it's not going to steer Vert away. And Vert, a simple kill to be found. I'm not too sure why we didn't just see a re-smoke there from D-Hut. He takes that risk, and it doesn't pan out very well. Stiko. He's rotated in, just going to be playing towards quad. Boost to come through now for X5. Not spotted anything. Just waiting in the hopes of unnecessary aggression, but Stiko here towards quad. He's been bullied off now. Has got a smoke. Gonna be waiting around, and he can just stick it. Oh, I say that. The molly spread. Stiko only going 1 for 1 is tough. Still a fair bit of utility here for Team Space as well, but they're so hesitant to creep closer. So worried about a potential flank. Oh, Vert can be peeking. Oh, that's a bomb.
Wow. Somehow DMQ, just like his teammate before him, and Stiko finds one through the fire and flames, but Trunic shuts down Hades, and it's about time we've seen Hades lose a clutch.
Yeah, I really like the nade of the smoke there. Hades is not going to be prepared for that whatsoever. As you said though, Charlie, at least Monte, they've got some kind of bank to fall back on. But OT, best case scenario here for Monte. But it's just poor decisions. We're seeing them so frequently here for Monte. It was a mistake here from Vert as he was the bomb carrier, but in fact, I don't think the nade would have changed anything. Trunic spotted him before it blew up. But yeah, I think Team Space, now with 2 opportunities to close out map number 1, they've looked very good. This game probably should be over already because there were so many rounds in that first half that Monte didn't really have much right to win.
Round number 23. What could be the final round of map number 1 here in this very, very close series. Could be taken by Team Space, stealing away their opponent's map picks.
But look, Monte, they're the invited team. They're meant to be the dominant kind of team here. This is their map selection, but it doesn't look like that. Team Space have always been in the driver's seat.
Still thrown on out towards ramp, nothing spotted from DemQ. Won't be able to find an early kill in this one like he did in the last. Hades ult might not be expected, and the swing not good enough from Vert. Too easy for Hades.
Yeah, sadly no opportunity for Trunic for the trade either. So with that man advantage, Monte, they could just look to fall back, look to kind of disengage, but DemQ towards ramp, still ready and waiting, but it is Krasnal to fire. Just a lucky timing with his shots, takes down X5. It's a devastating way to fall, but sometimes that's how it goes. Oh! The nade hits him in the face, and so does the AWP shot. Not really much Fuzzle could do about that one.
Yeah, it might come all the way down to this final round. Maybe a save might be the call that we end up seeing from these final two players. A lot of time left. But with no cash in the reserve, no money to fall back on, maybe it generally is the right play.
Yeah, the problem is, though, we have got plenty of players looking to hunt Diha already down in the back lines. Setup is fine, though. Danis towards ladder. Trunic holding middle. But the CCTs are hunting. They are hungry. They don't want to give anything to Team Space. Oh, Danis, I think the gun barrel...
Danis can actually find these players, which he can't. And Steve, yeah, finds the final two. I mean, that could have... If we saw Danis string on out, somehow find the two towards mid, we could have actually seen that round be won, which would be pretty insane, but... I mean, a bit of luck required. And a bit of hopeful thinking, I suppose.
Yeah,
More realistic outcome did come out. I mean, this is it. Team Space need to do it with the weaker weapons, or we go to OT.
I think it'd be tough for Team Space if it goes overtime. I think it's safe to say they were deserving of victory here on Vertigo. But look, Hades is on 30 kills. Stiko's had a good game as well, and Stiko, he's not usually the player that you're expecting to be at the kind of the, near the top. Great HE grenade, yeah. Nearly getting the timing, nearly finding Krasnal, but for Team Space, it's just not there for them, and Diha is so prepared for this. Fuzzle. Second his head creeps out, that's when Diha strikes. And not only does it give them the kill, it shows the intentions of the T side. And this is where Vert, the only rifle, he's got to go huge. But breaking into this bomb site with limited utility, and oh, another one found. The boost not working out well for Team Space. 2 players lost, and Monte. Good opportunity now, X5 though. Finding Diha. Trunic still holding. Waiting for a flank, but not coming through. Stiko's reposition is key. And the smoke there towards White Box, I like it.
I mean, there's not a lot of time. Danis has the bomb here. 23 seconds. Trunic kind of has to just do something.
Oh, I like the boost there. They've spotted one, but the flashbang's good. It's 15 seconds on the clock. They know that there's a player towards quad, but as X5 swings, it's OT, Charlie. Somehow, Monte have brought things back. It seemed as though Team Space, only to take that, when they got the pistol the first 3 rounds of the game, destined to find it. But I'll be honest, Charlie, Monte, their CT side was impressive. Understandably, they've got that kind of strong win rate there.
Yeah, really great couple of final rounds there from Monte. Team Space in the last, very predictable. In the last couple, to be fair, quite predictable.
Well, Charlie, you said you don't want this first map to ever end, and we're going to OT, so might be quite some time before we finish. At best, we get another, or at worst, sorry, we get another 4.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Monte are looking to try to get all 4 instantly. The way that they've been playing recently stepped up significantly to what we saw earlier.
I think something to mention, though, is Team Space. It seemed like there was always limitations on that T side. Very rarely was it kind of a perfect investment. Danis on the AWP, hardly saw that, and I think it could be a real difference maker when it comes to wanting to fight off towards middle, whether it's a ramp take with the AWP posted down at the bottom, I think Danis, this could be a change. And it has to be said, Charlie, Danis has had a pretty poor game. As maybe the bright spark, the star for Team Space. Only 11 kills. Not too good. John bottom of the server with Kraz now.
You don't really know if we've seen him have any info with the AWP or even get killed with the AWP. That might be one I'm thinking of, but yeah, there haven't been many times he's had it in his hands. I think there's been even less that he's got any kills with it, but he's got the AWP now. Maybe this is his chance to step up and give Team Space that edge over Monte that they do need.
Yeah, look, Hades, though, if he can continue, Team Space, not going to be easy for them. I think Stiko as well has to be praised. Here we do have Danis posted up, ready and waiting for the swing to come through. DemQ just going to be jump spotting, but with the smoke landing. Ooh, Danis just escapes.
Oh, Danis is so close to spotting out this player.
Oh, the aggression from Krasnow's brilliant, though. And he can back away. We've got a nade to work with, too. And they've taken ramp. The smoke denying Team Space any avenue back in.
Yeah, Krasnow watching that one back in the demo. He's going to realise how close he was to finding the first. And instead, he was the first to get punished, first to get found. And Monte, 3 players towards B. Team Space, 3 players, half HP or less. It feels like this is going to be another Monte round. Played very well.
The problem for Space is there's just nowhere for them to go. The setup here towards ramp is strong. Krasnow to take contact if they swing out the left-hand side. We've got Hades posted up on the AWP. Gonna have to do a very well-placed flash, but as mentioned, Krasnow, that angle, very difficult to fight off against, and if they swing a little wider, that's where Hades is already and waiting. And here we see it. All on X5. Just gonna be saving. Team Space unable to take the first, and Monte, a very convincing round victory. Only 6 damage taken.
Yeah, Monte are well and truly into the swings of things here on this CT side, sorry, of Vertigo. I don't think there's going to be a chance that Team Space can break open many places here unless Danis is actually doing something with the AWP.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I think Monte, they've got a great setup towards A. It's clear that they like to take some aggressive plays towards B, but I think something that Team Space, a fast mid, could work out very nicely for them. Hades is posted up there, though. Yeah, looked as though he wanted to get a little bit aggressive here, but X5 finding DemQ. Nice pick, and now just backs away.
Just about. Final couple of bullets. Vert kills himself, apparently. Falling off the map, perhaps.
Where was that? Was that a run boost attempt? I don't know, but Team Space. I don't know how Dita's been able to sit behind kind of the wooden wall in danger and not been chipped away at. Bullets fly left, right, and centre, but only 3 damage taken. Obviously now falls to Danis, but a 1v4 attempt. Certainly not going to be easy.
Yeah, this sadly.
Does he not spot Stiko?
Yeah, this sadly is a feeling like how the rest of this game's gonna go now, perhaps. Monte are really starting to heat up on their CT side. And a lot of the stuff that we're seeing Monte get away with, Team Space weren't.
You know, I think with
I do end up thinking this will just spiral out of control.
I think as well, for Team Space, we see it like a nice aggressive push there from X5, but it just goes to show how kind of well Monte have conditioned Team Space. The fact that X5 finds a pick, and instead of keeping the space, he backs away, and in doing so, it just allows Monte to kind of strengthen up other places around the map. But it's going to be a save again. Not really what you want to be seeing in OT. And Hades trying to deny it. Oh, Stiko could take down Danis after time. Oh, and Stiko will. Danis has got $400 to his name, Charlie.
Can't get a drop, it
no.
won't make that much of a difference, but the AWP.
He's got no armor.
Yeah, it feels like.
What?
You better drop it all.
Oh, it was the flash. It was the flash that got that. That's a tough one.
Didn't question stopping though, did he?
No, no.
Well, Dallas does have an AWP. No armor though, like you did mention. And this is it, Monte, you could find all three on overtime. Could be the beginning of the end if we don't see Team Space start to show something. A brilliant way to kick things off. Hades hasn't slowed down at all throughout this game. Finds his third. Finally gets silenced, but he does enough to allow DemQ to get the trade, and it's all on Fozil.
I love the switch up from Hades as well. Goes, you know what, I'm going to bring out a rifle. We're going to look to get aggressive towards Ram. I think it's a brilliant call, brilliant play, and worked out well so far. But Fozil, 1 versus 4 attempt, cries out, eventually takes him down. But Charlie, that is all three going the way of Monte. Devastating here for Team Space, because as we said before, Team Space probably should have been kind of victorious on Vertigo.
Yeah, it feels like in regulation, that was their best chance, but as soon as overtime's come around, Monte, we saw it towards the end of regulation. They started really finding their form, finding their footing. And right now, they are playing just at a level above their opponents.
I still think for Monte, even if they take Vertigo here, I think we all know it's not the success story they were hoping for. The fact it's gone to overtime. Oh, Danis. He's had such a tough game, hasn't he? He's 13 and 25.
I mean, his AWPing counterpart right now has, what, 23 kills more than him?
Yeah. If Hades gets a 4K in this round, he'll have triple his kills. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. Hades, I think he might get the crown as the match MVP for Vertigo. Maybe, I don't know. Probably got maybe a 1.8 rating, something like that. Nothing special.
I would imagine so. X5 under pressure here.
It's all about when he decides to strike.
No util towards sandbags yet. If overlooked, which he isn't, does find one for one. 3 kills away. Monte need to find them, and they'll be victorious here on map number 1.
Yeah, the position of DemQ is brilliant as well. Nice flash. I don't think D-Hurt actually does spot X5 there, or first, sorry. Yeah, this is going to be such a tough retake. Just the positioning alone of Monte. DemQ can peek at any moment, and with Trunic firing off the AWP shot, DemQ gets the trade, but Fozil fast. 2 on 2 here. Stiko, though. Although not the nicest of sprays, Stiko still finds. And Stiko doubles down, gets his 27th. And a very impressive game from both Stiko and Hades. But Monte, they take map number 1. Maybe not in the prettiest of fashions, but still. They'll be happy with the map success, I guess. But I think Monte, we could have expected a lot better from them. I think after the first couple rounds, I think both of us, Charlie, expected Team Space to maybe take it. But Charlie, thoughts and feelings after that one?
Yeah, it certainly doesn't matter how pretty the map victory is. It's still a victory, and that is the most important thing at the end of the day. They deny Team Space going 1-0 up in this series, and I do truly think this is going to be a 3-mapper. I think Team Space are going to take dust, and I think the fact that Monte do at least win Vertigo, in my head, secures this at least being a 3-map. But potentially we can start to see a bit of an upwards turn from them, and maybe they can have a bit more fight on dust, and potentially, I think, because a lot of mistakes were made from both sides, really, on Vertigo. It definitely did feel like Monte. As soon as we started to get around round 20 or so, we started to see those cracks started to be smoothed out a little bit, and a much better performance from them.
Yeah, but look, obviously we've got Brandon ready and waiting on the desk to kind of give his thoughts and feelings of how that map went, and I'm excited to hear what he has to say, because a very thrilling map that it was.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. And what a map one that was. I mean, it really did have everything. And I'll be real, Team Space should have won this game. It should have been done in regulation. There shouldn't have been any possibility of overtime whatsoever. That CT side looked pretty decent from Team Space, and Monte kept getting caught out by these same things. You're going to see in the replay, Fozzle just consistently pushing B. And I think for Team Space, when you look at this, it was really well structured. They had a really nice amount of utility they were using, and Monte just couldn't get their head just anywhere near a bomb site whatsoever. But with that being said, comes the counterpoints. And that is, Team Space, in moments, in this CT side, were a little bit over-aggressive. And they did try and force the issue way too much against Monte. And I feel like if they had a little bit more discipline between all 5 of these players, and if they're on the same page a little bit more, this half genuinely could have been like 9-3, 10-2, because that's how good their structure was looking. But they kept blowing up these smokes, they kept going in and reinvesting all their bodies in towards this B play. When you think that it might be done, it isn't, and they just keep on going. And it's really worrying to kind of see that for Team Space, because it feels like they've got everything that they want to do set up, and then they deviate away from the original game plan. So that's allowing Monte to get back in. You've got the individuals like Hades that is really stepping up, and then you've got Stiko as well in that second half, just performing an astronomical amount of impact. I'll be honest, until it got to overtime, Stiko's kills were way more impactful than Hades. Hades just kind of went under the radar. I think some of the guys even said it in the cast, like he was getting a ridiculous amount of eco kills. But when it went to overtime, Hades was definitely performing. He was getting a number of multi-kills to kind of stop Team Space and their progression. And that leads nicely into the next point, just about Team Space and their T side. Because it really did feel like they ran out of ideas. And suddenly, Monte are just able to bounce back in. You got the experience of these players. All you needed is for one of these individuals to step up and kind of give you a foothold in back into the game. And we got that out of Stiko, and we got that definitely out of Hades. And now you look ahead to Dust 2 and you start to think, well, okay, with all these mistakes crept in for Monte already, and Team Space should have claimed this, why are we looking towards Team Space potentially to take D2? And it's because the raw aim, you can kind of see it in these gunfights, bar Hades, every single fight was going in favor of Team Space. So you have to assume that it probably will be them that will be kind of taking Dust 2. Their structure looked really good. They were hitting all of these really nice timings as well onto Diha. Diha was getting punished every single moment. It felt like a lot of times in these rounds, Team Space were deliberately targeting him, especially on that B bomb site, in order to try and create outlets. That's why Monte immediately adjusted. They were adding more players in and just sort of trying to blend in a little bit of aggression. And it was these timings that Team Space just couldn't hang with. It's unfortunate for Team Space, but the reality is Monte and their experience, once they force it to overtime, they are able to get back in. And now you look to a Dust 2. You look to see whether Team Space can do it. I don't think they'll be too frustrated with the manner in which Vertigo ended, because it wasn't like they lost harshly. They went to overtime, and then they got blown out there. So I think the mental reset is definitely achievable. You need to see more out of Danists, in my opinion, because Trunic was spectacular. You got a lot of impact out of Vert, but it's that AWP head-to-head. If Danists is not online, then it's going to be a really rough day in the office, potentially for Space. And that's kind of the way I see it. But we do go to a break. When we come back, it will be that second map. It'll be Dust 2.
Are you sick of just opening cases? Join the events! At each event, you can find special cases from which tokens fall. Tokens are your ticket into a world of unique awards. For tokens, you can buy a skin, premium, or special balance. Try your luck in the skin generator. Also, you can leave your tokens at the token vault. And the more tokens you keep, the better skin you'll get. Add variety to opening cases with Hellcase.
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try Skin Place. Visit the website, select the skins you want to use. Easily fill your Steam trade link. Make sure we offer good prices and choose a payment method. Hit the button and boom, instant cash. Safety. Low commissions. Instant payouts. Skin Place.
Welcome back in, everyone. We needed overtime to separate those two teams on map 1. And Team Space weren't able to get it over the line in the end. Felt like they really should have done that before they went to OT. Now, CMD looking to Dust 2. What does Team Space need to change to get this map over the line?
I mean, honestly, it felt like they had a really good game plan on that. In general, it felt like they had the very good structure, even on both their sides, really, particularly their CT side, which definitely did look a lot stronger. But it was just these really small mistakes, potentially the pressure of playing against a team like Monte, potentially the pressure of getting to these quarterfinals, was getting to them slightly, because sometimes we did see the rounds where they just needed to sort of take a step back. Let's just not fight for a second. Let's just calm down, regroup, play it a bit more together. We saw a few too many individual fights, and that did go against them. Honestly, Dust kind of is a map where you can just say, yeah, I'll take these individual fights, and you can really reap the rewards from it. We did mention a couple of players on Monte who did step up massively. I mean, Hades, especially towards the latter portions of that game, Stiko kind of throughout. If these guys can keep it going on Dust, they're going to definitely have the firepower. Dennis, though, I think we do need to talk about. He's got to kind of be his player just to step up, show us what we all know he can do, have a lot more freedom with the orb, something that he didn't actually really get out a lot, especially on the CT side. Finances didn't allow it. I think from that point on, Team Space have a good chance to take it just by playing their own game and having a few more players step up around it.
I think with the new change to Dust 2 as well, with the fact that you can self-boost into short a lot faster, that aggressive tendency might fall favour in towards Team Space. Zola, I'm going to come to you about Monte, because obviously you predicted them to win. They take down map 1, but it was a guy you don't normally expect to see at the top of the board. Not Hades, I'm talking about Stiko.
Yeah.
They can't really rely on this individual form, right? They need the support network. I think you were saying it in the cast. Krasnell, Diha in particular, and Demka. Surely they need to step up, right, in order to get us two over the line.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was a tough game for those three. I think there was a lot of mistakes made as well. There was many moments where pieces of utility could have just been thrown, and we would have seen a very different round for Monte. I think obviously with this map being very AWP-centric, I think the fact that Hades did have an absolutely amazing game, not just with the AWP, but the rifle as well. I think that could be the difference maker. But yeah, Stiko's never really a player that can be relied upon when it comes to the kill department. I think Vertigo, he had many big moments, and it was kind of the moments with the weaker weapons. It was the fact he gets that double with the USP, it affects the Team Space's finances, then he finds two with the Deagle. I feel like even obviously on the rifle rounds, we had a lot of moments from Stiko. But yeah, I think the fact that players like Diha, Demku, and obviously Krasnell had tough games, I think that's what brought it close. And I think if they can step up on Dust 2, and okay, yes, Stiko might have a little bit of a step down in the kill department, but look, I think if they can perform like they should, I think this is where Monte can look incredible, because Hades is on hot form, not only just kind of the last couple of months, but in this series alone. You don't get 36 kills with kind of not doing much, and I think, as Charlie said, towards the end, Hades looked incredible, and I think that's something that, if can be brought over to map 2, I think Monte have got a good chance of taking it, especially with it being Dust.
Yeah, and look, it is Hades that normally steps up for this team, in particular, where it comes to Dust 2, but the player I'm looking at the most is Demka. I think Demka has been fantastic for Monte, especially in the past 3 months on Dust 2, and it was a largely absent game from him, in which I was quite surprised. I didn't expect at all Demka to kind of go a little bit missing here, but it speaks volumes to the game plan of Team Space. In fact, that they just kind of had it so close. But it's that experience. We kind of just saw it, and you guys were kind of alluding to it. That was a bit unfortunate. But Monte, once they got to OT, once they dragged themselves there through the help of some of these players, that's where they felt a lot more comfortable. That's where they felt like they were in control of the game. And I'm going to ask both of you. I'm going to kind of leave the floor open a little bit. I think we'll start with Zola again, because obviously you picked Monte, so I'm going to keep pitting you guys against each other. That's what I do best. What do you think was the turning point in that game for Monte to be able to have that comeback? Because for a very long time, it didn't look like that was possible whatsoever.
Yeah, I think when you look at it, it's kind of moments where D has doubled towards danger. It's the fact that he gets both of those kills. Okay, yeah, there's an unfortunate falling off the map, but it's the fact he's in such a kind of tough position. Bullets are going to be spamming through that wall. He gets 2 and only takes 3 damage for it. And obviously, yeah, falls to the AWP of Danest after. But it's moments like that where he's in a 1-for-1 position. He should never be finding 2. And even if he gets out of it, you're expecting him to be on less than 20 HP. And it's just stuff like that where Team Space, they had good opportunity to find picks, good opportunity to get trades, or at least get damage off. And it just wasn't really happening. And I think that's when then kind of Monte looked so good, because they could take these risky plays and they'd find it. There was another moment where Krasnal was kind of sitting towards Crane, 2 players swinging 1 by 1, and no one is even looking there. No one's even ready for it. And it's just the fact that towards the end, Monte just looked far more confident, more aggressive, and it's something that Team Space just couldn't deal with. And I think that was the kind of the turning point. They got their confidence back.
Yeah, I think it is a similar thing. I mean, it definitely was the CT side switch over as soon as we did see Monte switch there, but I think we can talk a little bit more about CT side from Monte on Dust, as that's exactly where they're going to be starting, Fred.
Yeah, I think when you look at the stats, both teams, they favour both sides quite well. There's barely a difference for Monte. They're successful on both. It's the pistol rounds that are going to be big, because Monte, they've got a strong success rate on these pistols. Only over 2/3 they've got. So if they can find success here, they can start the game how they mean to finish. And there's still a possibility of a 2-0, right? I think we know that Space are going to be well versed on Dust. They're going to have their strong moments, but I think if Monte can have a stronger start, because that was their real weak point on Vertigo. It was the fact that their T side was pretty poor. It has to be said. So Monte, look, they've got chances, they've got opportunities to close it out 2-0, and as coming into this as potentially the favoured team, it's what we would have expected. But Hades is crept up very creepily here, but X5 still finds. Back to this 4-on-4.
Information gained early. Monte are going to be aware they are towards long. They could easily back away. The smoke should indicate the T's game plan. We're on the bomb site. Playing towards Gandalf. There is a flash on Sneeko. I don't know if it's a huge get down anyway. I can't imagine Hades had one. Kill's not coming through. Back and forth now. The T's are coming on top, but just for a matter of moments, Fuzzle. Lower HP, 41 points of it, and Krasnal the one to find the final player. And Sneeko again, an important double from him.
Yeah, it looked a bit awkward there. I think the back and forth fighting, we see that double come through from Space, but it's the fact that the 2 players towards CT, Sneeko and obviously Krasnal, the fact that they could swing out and there was very little trading. Obviously 2 players were on the bomb site for Space, so it's a bit of an awkward angle to fight. Yeah, it was a nice kind of reposition and re-aggression, I guess you could say, from Monte. And the fact that Hades, he gets all that space for free towards middle, finds the pick.
Great buy from Monte, so the fact they are losing a couple of players isn't going to make things too nice. Would have been nice to have like a full-on bonus round, but then we'd be able to at least upgrade with a couple of more M4s and a 2-0 start from Monte on obviously Team Space's map pick. But yeah, I did feel like the CT side from Monte on Vertigo definitely helped them out a bit. Their T side felt a little lax, if we're being honest. It felt like they should have got punished a lot more for it than they really did. And definitely as their CT side progressed, they felt a lot more confident. They looked a lot more confident. And then after a good few rounds, it felt like Space, unless magic happens, they're not going to beat the Monte CT side.
Charlie, something that we mentioned, a bit of a problem for Danis was the lack of the big green in hand. Straight away, gone for the glass cannon. I think it's the right approach. We know how much of a difference maker Danis can be with the AWP in hand, and he's got the opportunity here in round number 3 to prove it.
Nice for him as well, to have a bit of confidence coming in. He's up against the scout of Hades. Depending on where he does get a shot, he should be pretty fine to tank a body shot.
Yeah, I like the setup here, though, from Monte. Timing on Diha's nade's going to be everything. Dug straight down onto X5. Vert as well, feeling the shrapnel too. Team Space going to be making their way here towards the A-bomb site. A little bit of damage has been dealt to Kraz now, so he's forced to back away, but in fact, he might go searching. Diha, though, with work to do. 4 aggressors making their way up, and Hades to attempt to take contact away from him. Hades does have a fair bit of utility. Smokes are coming down, and timing for Diha. Should have got the pick and somehow been allowed to back away. And Hades, in fact, it was Diha to find the pick, but Hades coming to his aid, trying to keep him alive. The tag onto Danis is good, and looking at the HP, Team Space not looking too healthy. There's 20 seconds left here. Very limited utility. I think best case scenario is the save. They can't really go into the bomb site. They're far too low. 13 seconds. That makes it a third, yeah.
There's the orb of Danis gone. I don't... Oh, these guys can go down after time now. There's one. No one else is going to want to swing. They're starting to probe now. Starting to push Trunic. Able to get away with the orb. But look at Fossil's cash.
Yeah, it's tough.
$0 and a Glock.
Yeah, I don't mind the save, but it's the fact that players were still looking kind of to probe, looking to keep themselves alive, I guess, and it's quite lucky that Team Space, there was no nade on Monte, because I think we could have seen a quad kill with the HE. Straight away, though, now we have got Hades on the big green. Similarly, Danis is wielding, but Danis has saved a fair bit of money in the bank, quite similar to Vert. But Monte, they've started off Dust 2 pretty nicely here.
Yeah, it's going to be... It would have been even nicer, really, if they could have taken down the last couple of final players. It feels like that would have really been such a bitter pill to swallow for Team Space.
But it's kind of the approach that we saw from Monte, a very slow played out T-side, Team Space not wanting to make many errors, but in doing so, they leave themselves with very limited time. The fact that they struggled to find Diha as well, he was out in the open, there's 4 players ready and waiting, missed shot from Hades, and X5 looks to accelerate now. Bomb site open. Stiko going to be operating as that first responder, but tucks himself away close towards long.
Gonna play this on retake. Fossil able to get away with the orb.
Yeah,
Bad
utility.
weapon to be wielded. Trunic playing anti and finds the burst. Missed orb shot from Fossil, and Demka able to rotate in and find 3 all on Vert here. P250 in hand. If he can somehow find these 2 short players, a miracle would have occurred, but no chance. And Monte will find their 4th.
Stiko saving the second AWP. Might be seeing the double AWP in play for Monte. We talk about how it's so costly, but one been gifted to them. And speaking of costs, the money for Monte's looking good. I believe Krasnow's sitting around 9k. Yeah, it's a great ace there for Demka. We mentioned he had a bit of a tough game on Vertigo, and I think just a round like that can be a huge confidence booster. Swinging into 3 players, and the fact he's able to find all 3, very impressive there.
I mean, Demka's really a player who very, very rarely, sort of near never, has a bad performance
in 2 maps of the series. It's normally, if he has a bad performance, he's going to be playing well in the rest of the series. So I'll be very surprised if he doesn't continue to look sharp here on this map. X5, I think he's having some mouse issues. Yeah. I mean, lucky to be alive.
Nades are going to be coming through. They've dropped the smoke with Diha finds. X5. They don't seem too prepared for him, though.
I mean, I'm amazed he has lived there. You saw the panic sort of on his face for his camera.
Yeah, definitely.
Does get away with his life, though, Diha. Is going to be holding this smoke. Crosshair placement is good, and we'll find the kill. 3 on 3 again.
Steps have been made here from Vert. Molly to come through. Demka. The tick of the Molly. And Danis finds on the orb. This is third in the round. And Diha rotating in. We'll find Bozzle. Searching for the second and is successful. And now Stiko on the orb. Somehow surviving. And Diha. We saw an ace in the last from Demka. An ace in this one for Diha. Okay, Monty. Who's next for the ace?
I mean, Danis got far finding the ace as well. If he found that kill onto Stiko, if it didn't do all that damage and confirm the kill, there was a good chance he gets an ace himself. So a lot of individual prowess being shown right now, but it's good to see Danis is starting to have a few moments. There was a 3k from him in that round, but a 5-0 starter still from Monte.
Yeah, it's incredible. I think they've realised, look, Vertigo far closer than we ever imagined. Gotta play this right, and so far, so good.
Yeah, not sure what to expect from the T side of Dust from Monte. I've only really seen them play it once after the player break, and that was a loss, so if it's anything like Vertigo, it might be a map that they need to get as many CT side rounds as possible.
Charlie, I've got an interesting stat for you. Monty have played Dust 2 9 times. I'll wait for the execute to come through and then I'll carry on waffling. We're seeing Vert finds a pick, but a lot of damage dealt, and now Krasnow tasked with finding a couple, so no ace in this one as kills are split. This could work out well for Space.
There is still 2 mollies and an nade. Nade comes down now. Not doing a ton of damage. These mollies have to start to be used at some point. I think they're going to wait out the smoke and molly towards car, potentially. Yeah. Molly in hand. They can still play it slow. They do have defuse kits. They've got a flash on Hades as well. That's what they're going to be waiting for. Molly coming out. Here comes the flash. First kill goes. Oh, it's a brilliant flashbang. Vert's so blinded. Will be defused. Oh.
Yeah, he's got enough time to adjust.
Yeah, only one player didn't have a defuse kit there, and Demka's the one who jumps on the bomb. I mean, really brilliant retake, actually. I mean, I'd love to see it. Sure, he gets close, but a lot of good retakes too. Yeah, you're against the weaker weapons. You know there's going to be some limitations. They've got a heap of utility, and they ensure that they use it. They just wait out the smoke at the door, use the mollies, flashbangs, excellent. Absolutely love what we did get to see there from Monte. It shows the discipline, because sometimes when you know the bomb's taking lower and lower and lower, you're still waiting for this smoke. You sort of just say, let's just get it over with. Hades wins the first open duel here.
Yeah, unfortunate for Danis. I feel like Krasnow has been looking to get aggressive early doors towards tunnels, wanting to catch him out, but Hades, very wise, as he will find. But as I wanted to say before the execute came through, Charlie, is we've seen 9 games here from Monty. We've seen 102 rounds won. And it is exactly 50-50. 51 of those rounds would have been won on the T side, 51 on the CT. So, pretty split, pretty even favouring for Monty. And the fact that they've started this off as a 6-0 start couldn't really be going better. And the nade, heavily chipping away at Fozzle and Trunic. The utility has been brilliant here from Monty. The second nade to come through as well. Oh, Trunic falling.
That's just 280 tank. He didn't get shot by a single bullet. The drop down from Vert attempts to try to create some space from his team. Not gonna work out in his favour, and Fozzle and X5 left to try to recover. Fozzle, the only player with any health, gets eliminated, and X5 now 22 HP. Left to retreat with his tail in between his legs. But yeah, like you said, the util from Monte, really superb.
It's the fact that Team Space, they show their presence initially towards short. They're throwing the smokes, they're kind of throwing the flashes, but they decide to kind of, they're a little bit stagnant. They show the presence and then they sit in short, and that's where the nades can just consistently come through. Such a tight chokehold as well. The nades are never going to miss. And I think it's the fact that Team Space, they look to get aggressive early doors and take the kind of positioning, but far too static. I think once they show that they're towards short, they need to kind of hurry things along, because it allows time for rotations, and that's the problem that Team Space are kind of facing.
First tactical timeout called by Team Space, and it's better late than never, I suppose. Monte, although they're 7-0 up, I really don't want to believe that this is going to be a 2-0. After how close and intense map number 1 was, it feels like there has to be more action here. It really does.
Already though, Charlie, we've seen a lot more consistency and a lot more moments from players like Demka, like Diha, even Kraz now. When there was kind of 5 players pushing towards him, the fact he can get 2 and deal some damage as well. But Diha and Demke both top of the scoreboard with 9, obviously heavily aided by the ace. I like the idea here from Team Space, very fast towards middle. They've got a timing, but they need to take it. This is the problem. I've been saying it throughout. They take that initial control. Oh, Trunic spots out too. Potentially should be the go call for them to hit towards middle, but they're delaying. They're allowing time for these rotations. Once again, the decision making from Team Space, they have the right initial idea, but they just slow things down far too much. Could have been a perfectly timed crunch.
There. Only one flashbang remaining on Team Space. That's on Fozzo, who right now is nowhere near the rest of his pack.
Once again.
Yeah, another great nade.
Demke's got 2 more.
And even just save it for the bomb club. Hades gets
Hades.
deleted by Danis.
There's been a couple moments like that where Hades has been kind of caught a little bit off guard. How
Oh,
many
and there's
HDs are
another.
there?
Is waiting for a second. And that's the bomb denied.
Is there another nade?
I wish there was.
That's just a dust 2-way though, isn't it?
This is still going to be a very difficult round for Team Space. The health isn't really in their favour, and you can see just the dominance from Monte. But might not realise it, but his face already sealed. And round number 8 is as well. What a start to this game this has been from Monte.
Hey, Sneaker hasn't even got a death yet. They're just keeping the AKs, they've got so much money. They can drop overops. But Space seem really, really struggling to kind of find their form. But we see Hades go down there. I think when you've got the AWP positioned towards Car, you're expecting Hades to get one, back away, and then hold the sight cross. But I think that's the 3rd time that he's been caught off guard in that angle, or at least 2nd.
And it's though looking for something aggressive along with the AWP. No flashbang blinding him. Smoke comes down, flies off a pot shot. And long's being taken by Monte. They had no issue taking control across the map. When they do, one flash comes over. Couple of pot shots were connecting, but here we go. They might have no trouble taking control, but keeping hold of it is a different question.
Was a very fast hit. Luckily for Dem, he's not been taken down. Can drop the Molotov as well, and that's going to delay massively. Trunic attempting to cross. Sends a Molotov towards CT. Hades once again going to be keeping Fozzel at bay. Nade of the smoke. Hades spots something. Plants come through, but Trunic eventually eliminates. A 3-on-5 here in Team Space. Going to be finding their first round as the save will be coming through. I don't know if you saw though, Charlie. Demka was trying to back away from long, but he got blocked. And that's what the causation. Hades and Demka take so much damage because of it.
Yeah, it was a good call from Space though to retake. Just caught a couple of players out. You had Krasnout, I believe it was. Initially, he just sort of there with his teammates a bit deep towards long, but the timing was absolutely perfect. You saw one player rotate off. Demka, I believe it was, spamming through the smoke, ran out of ammo by the time the flash came out, and you just have Krasnout isolated. So it was very good timing.
Even if Team Space get these final 3 rounds, already Monte are going to be happy with this. 8 rounds on the CT side of Dust on a map that's pretty evenly split, especially for both teams. And I said it was the tough start for Monte on Vertigo that caused, you know, such chaos on their map selection. Yet now, things look far better for them.
Long taken again from Team Space. This now might be a part of their game plan for the rest of this half.
What are your thoughts on the kind of the new self boost onto short?
Yeah, I like it. Something a bit fresh for Dust. I think it's very similar to the Mirage bench that was placed in mid. It's a very small change, but I think it will change so much about how the map's played. So I think it's a good change. And, you know, it's nice to have a change on a map as sort of historic and old as Dust.
It's kind of like when the doors changed. I think a lot of people at first were a little bit negative, but that's just the mindset of CS players. Any change is always going to be met with some negative thoughts. Plenty of players close to ramp here. Oh, the nades coming through. Fozil. Oh, okay, for Hades. We'll find Fozil here. Hades doubles down. Should have fallen the first time round, and Vert now attempting to restabilize, but he's 7 HP. And the rifle of Demka will find, and Danis has just been sitting here towards pit, ready and waiting for his team to plant the bomb. Demka at range. He is 15-3, Charlie. And this is the kind of response, and this is the performance that we expected from Demka. Maybe a little bit better than we expected, let's be honest. He's 15-3, but you see the little the celebration, I guess?
Yeah, he knows that all eyes are on him. Why not? I mean, brilliant couple from Hades, to be fair. But one-upped by his teammate.
Oh, if you're Danis, he's sitting in pit. Was that would have been knife damage, wouldn't it? Maybe a...
More likely the orb shot.
Yeah, maybe.
But you never know, maybe a bit of bloodlust on one of his teammates.
Still though, it's 9 found from Monte. And they don't look to be slowing down, do they, Charlie?
No sign of that so far.
The setup here towards B is pretty good. He's still going to come down now. Adia spraying through the smoke. Struggling, in fact, to connect the bullets. Fossil goes down, and the Molotov going to force Krasnov out into the open. It will find him, too. Nade of the smoke. Demka attempting to find.
A single stray bullet connecting onto Fossil would have confirmed it. With only a couple of rounds left of this game, we are going to see Monte go for this. There's no reason not to.
So much money. The problem is, we've still got a smoke on Danis, can use that for doors. And I think Monte have realised, look, they're gonna have utility, and oh, Demka finds X5. Fossil's still low HP, and Trunic trapped on the bomb site with work to do, but Danis helping here, will find one. Hades eventually goes down, and it's all on Stiko. Can find the first, needs to search for the second with time dwindling. Trunic eliminates, and that's the second round found here for Team Space. A necessary success as well. Otherwise, a pistol round could determine the game.
Final round of the half, though. Can Monte find double digits? Crazy to see it. Crazy to see, crazy to say even. On their opponent's map pick. On a map they don't particularly play a crazy amount. They're happy to play it. I didn't expect a performance like this.
No, definitely not. Seems as though we do have some slight technical issues at the moment. But once again, Charlie, there's a couple players, and well, more than a couple. There's 3 players on the side of Team Space with just 2 kills. Fossil, X5, and Vert. It's been tough. It really has. And you said Demka, you know, he's the type of player that very rarely has back-to-back bad games. I feel like for Team Space, Fossil, X5, and Vert are kind of the anchors of the team. Okay, yeah, they can have big moments, but usually you're seeing them kind of middle to the bottom of the pack, and it's Trunic and Danis to step up, but very quiet from Team Space. It has to be said.
It is, and that's the frightening thing to think about. Don't get me wrong, I think we're going to see more from them on their CT side, but the question is, how much of a CT side are they even going to get to play?
Yeah, exactly. I think as well, Monte, primed to take things here, but I don't think anyone was kind of expecting these types of results. A Monte map pick of Verti that goes the distance, goes to OT, and then after the poor performance from Monte, although winning, it has to be said, a bit of a poor performance, they are dominating on their opponents.
Yeah, very one-sided. A far cry from the Monte we saw in map number 1. Definitely not going to say this series is done, because Dust 2 is a map that always feels like comebacks can happen. I've seen some of the most crazy comebacks on this map. Could be another one of them. Aggressive tunnels push here, though. Once again, we're seeing Long. He applied the pressure from Team Space. Fight, Demko looked favoured in it. Loses out to Fozzel.
Hades searching here towards top mid. And this is where I think, if you're Diha, you've got to probe, you've got to get yourself up there, because Deco, just a lone defender here towards A. No presence or pressure really being shown from Team Space anymore towards middle. That's exactly what's going to happen, Diha. He's taken this deep control now, and Krasnal and Hades can just rotate their way through.
Got
I like the gamble.
Huge amounts of HE grenades again. Fozzel is starting to look towards B, but it might be more just a late lurk, as the A site is being pressured. Hades not ready for it at all.
Oh, the airstrike comes through. The nades so close to connecting. Oh, the double though. The possibility for Krasnal. Solo HP, eventually he will confirm. The health on all three of these players very low, and the nade. Oh, so close to eliminating X5. Oh! Krasnal with the double. He's on for the ace. He just needs to find the final. It is Fozzel currently.
Doesn't realise it yet. Doesn't even want to jump up.
Tap of the bomb, but Fozzel's still pretty close. Oh, Fozzel will find. Does get Team Space their final round, but Krasnal could have been the third player here for Monte to secure himself an ace, and it would have been a nice 1v3 as well.
Yeah, Hades completely caught out by how aggressive the T's were. Boss being so silent about it as well.
Unfortunate there, Krasnal. I know he gets the double eventually, but could have been a little cleaner.
And Nade could have helped him out a bit. But yeah, smoke actually really hindering Krasnal there. Feels like Fozzel's always going to be favoured in that fight with the smoke. How it's positioned either way though. Still a very good half from Monte, 9-3.
Such a big pistol round though. Team Space have to be victorious. X5 tucked away and sadly falls to Diha. The Julies not having their expected impact in that kind of close range scenario. Flashbang over towards CT. Trying to take this control, and now the re-aggression will come through from the CTs, back and forth, and Trunic will come out of it victorious. Forced to back away now, attempting for survival. Takes a lot of damage, but Fozzel as that rotator, eliminating Krasnal into 2 versus 2 on the bomb site, but the health not great for Hades, but doesn't really matter as Demka. Important pick, and Hades now getting aggressive. All on Vert, 1 versus 2.
And it's such an important pistol. Feels like Team Space need to win this. First kill, the jump from Demka. Maybe you shouldn't be playing with his food, but will punish if needed. Hades is just playing tucked. Oh, you can actually spot his head towards Car, but he's too focused on the default boxes.
Oh, and Demka's been able to back away. Vert, limited time now. He's got to find these picks. Pretty much now, but yeah, that's the 10-second tick. Won't be any time. And we see the pistol go the way of Monte. We see the frag also found by Demka. 18th secured. It's a tough one for Vert. as you saw though, it just goes to show how hyper-focused Vert was on Demka, that just the kind of... We see Hades creep his way out of car, yeah.
Yeah,
Not
none of
ready
his
for it.
teammates clearly spotting it either. Or also too focused, maybe a little bit. On the boxes on side by Monte. It feels like this is the killing blow. Although there's still 3 rounds required, winning the pistol feels like it's had that effect on Team Space, or feels like it should have that effect on Team Space.
Yeah, things go from bad to worse. You know, it's a poor showing on their T side. They need to win the pistol, but unsuccessful. Danis gonna fall to the HE of Diha. I'd love to know the kind of the HE kill count in this game, because I feel like it's been quite a few.
That's not just the HE damage that's been dealt.
That's one that we'll have to check after the game. Unfortunate for Krasnal to not double down, but Trunic finding that pick and keep the Galil.
Not for too long though.
No. X5. 2 kills to his name. Been a very, very tough game.
I mean, it has for a lot of the Team Space roster, really. Only Trunic kind of having a solid game, and even solid. A neutral KD in a map that will save your skin, and allow you to have another crack to get to the quarterfinals. It's not the best showing from anyone on Space, but it's to be expected when you're 11-3 down.
And this is kind of the last chance. A loss here for Team Space, and it's 12 for Monte. It's a weak weaponry investment, maybe FAMAS's at best. All been played for Danis, though. Danis has been very quiet this series. Very, very quiet. It's a tough one. I think we had a kind of a talk about it yesterday where, you know, a player that we're expecting to do so well is always going to have one bad day at the office, but today of all days to Danis, a painful one, I'm sure.
Got the AWP, and he's leaning towards the right side of the map. Oh, Vert getting flashed in here.
Sadly, Danis without a second flashbang.
I mean, this is a really interesting play from Vert. He's just gonna back away now.
As the smokes fade, Danis going to be posted up here, and Danis surely going to be good for one, but with the drip smoke once again being thrown, makes things a little harder. Fire off any moment and probably connect. Oh, Danis!
no.
It's unfortunate! He's got a great idea! Everyone is blinded, but Krasnal eventually finds it with Diha eliminating Vert. Surely just the save for these final 3. Monte get 12. They get given an AWP as well.
It's a round where it feels like Danis has been given a chance. You want to stay in this event, you want to stay in playoffs, stay fighting with a chance. Let's see what you can do towards B. And it just feels like it goes against him. It just sums up his performance today, I think. Missing the shot. I mean, flashes were excellent, firstly. But he did have that slight moment where he was able to take down Krasnal, and instead, it's all gone against him.
Yeah, at least Team Space should be able to save these 3 weapons. Hades, he's on a little bit of a search for them, but with the setup looking so strong, I think Team Space somewhat safe. But Charlie, it's 9 on the bounce needed. Overtime is best case scenario for Team Space, but the way that Monte have been playing, I think it's quite easy to say it's not going to happen.
I mean, this would be quite a comeback. This would be something we might still be talking about in series to come down the line, but I just think it's such a pipe dream right now for Team Space. They're so far away.
I think
miracles are going to need to happen if there's any chance, because Monte Fred, they've looked so much better, haven't they, in this game?
I think a good way to kind of represent how this game has gone for Monte is they've just made it look so effortless. It's just been so simple for them. Their CT side, I think it was just really easy. They had their game plan. Look, we're going to try and take things towards long. We'll just kind of leave 4 HE grenades in CT spawn, and they'll do most of the heavy lifting. Yeah, it seems as though Monte haven't really had to work too hard for those rounds on the CT side, and it's quite similar on the T side. 2 flashes come out, 2 kills get found, and that's the round.
It does also feel like something we spoke about yesterday. When teams are smiling and having fun,
yeah,
that feels like you're doing something wrong if you're their opponents. You want them to be fully focused, concentrated, not feeling like this is too easy. You've seen a few smiles, a few too many happy moments from Monte on Dust, probably because how simple it has looked.
But Demka's, he's brought out a couple celebrations here and there. He's, you know, showing a bit more character than...
Gave a few
we've seen.
poses.
Yeah.
But this could be it, Fred. A bomb site open for the taking, 2 players towards long. X5 in CT spawn, but Monte still very hesitant to actually push out. But in doing so, it has forced X5 into rotating back, but these long players to emerge. 1 for 1, but Hannes keeps himself alive.
Yeah, the molly as well is good. Got plenty of players towards CT as well. Dia clearing out the bomb site, but hefty nade. Tap of the bomb, very worried about the HE grenades coming over the top, but they're not. Utility weak, but the peak from Stico. Oh, he chipped down to 7 HP. Although a 4v4, the HP here for Monte is not great. As this smoke phase, Demka could be found. And he is. Hades with so much work to do. Stico and Dia, they double down. They're just giving the kills. They all line up. And Monte, they take map number 2. They take the series. They take the quarterfinal spot with ease because a 13-3, just so simple for them. But Demka, 20-6 there, Charlie, in an absolute incredible game. And I think when we even look back to Vertigo, a map that we said Team Space hard done by, they probably should have won it in regulation, but Monte, they battle back on map number 1, they take it in overtime, and then Dust too. Probably the quickest map we've seen in quite some time, because Monte, absolute domination there.
Yeah, it looked amazing. I mean, Monte, maybe a few more teams are going to be questioning picking Dust against them now, because I'm very impressed as a 2-0 Monte. I mean, I did have an inkling Space were going to win this. Vertigo felt like it should have went their way, but Dust, there was only one clear winner. Let's bring Brandon in, and I want to hear what his thoughts are on this game as a whole, but more specifically, Monte's Dust, because they looked brilliant. Brandon.
Yeah.
Talk to me. What happened there? They looked alright. They looked decent.
Well, Space kind of got owned. To be honest, you guys were kind of highlighting it quite a lot in the cast. You were saying Space and their mid-round decisions, it was just ultimate hesitation. And you didn't see that on Vertigo. You kind of saw them run out of ideas towards the back end. But what you saw on D2 was literally just them having space and then not being sure what to do with it. And in that time frame, you've then got the experience of Monte that have also just saved all their utility because Team Space have been going very contact in a lot of these early stages. Monte didn't really have to invest all that utility, so now you've got mollies that can keep being recycled in towards the mid doors, you've got flash plays that can be set up, and of course, you've got the HEs that are just doing all of the damage. Util damage would have been on display in bucket loads for Monte. And for Space, they did try to figure it out. They did try and have some variation. They tried to go out long. That was kind of where they were starting to gather a lot of their momentum in the early stages of the round. But the issue you've got, in my opinion, is once you start going long, that's already where your game is lost, because it's so difficult to kind of take these long doors. It feels like a really puggy play, and it felt very desperate. And then obviously you've got the individual stepping up. We said coming into this, it can't just be Stico, it can't just be Hades, it needs to be that support network, and Demka and Diha were brilliant, weren't they?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was moments from everyone, and I think you see at the end there where Stico and Diha, they're both 1 HP, and they still find all 4 of them, and it just goes to show that not only were Monte kind of feeling it when it comes to kind of their positioning and just hitting the shots, but it was the fact that Team Space seemed very lackluster in the trading department. The amount of multi-kills that came through for Monte was ridiculous. We saw 2 aces and a 4K. That never should be happening, but yeah, it was just the fact that Monte, they look brilliant, and I think as well, it's also, with Monte on Dust, there were a couple unknowns. We know that Team Space, they favoured us quite nicely, but yeah, the T side was very poor from Space, and there was one round, I think it was a half buy with a hero AK. They've got 3 players towards mid doors, they've taken this control. Monte are unaware of it, they have no clue, yet they just sit towards doors for 30-40 seconds. If they take the timing straight away, if they look to push into CT, whether they go towards B or towards A, they're gonna be taking that round every day of the week, because Monte aren't prepared for it. But it's the fact that Team Space, they have that idea, and then they're just so slow, they're so kind of stuck, because I think Team Space were feeling the pressure. They were worried to take these risks. They were worried to take these timings because they know if it goes wrong, they lose the round. But in doing so, that was the kind of cost of it. And that's the final round.
Absolutely. And look, you take a look at this, and that's the difference between tier sort of 1.5 teams such as Monte and tier sort of 2-3 teams such as Space. And it's the decisiveness and recognizing what's going on in real time. And it is the separation in these moments that really distinguishes who's going to come out on top. We've got our MVP ready as well. Here's that Monte roster that won. But one player in particular who I felt should be the MVP is Hades. And sure, he was still present on Dust 2, but Vertigo, my god. He was the guy that kept Monte in that game alongside Stico. And if they got blown out the water on Vertigo, I think Dust 2 still probably would have been claimed by Monte from what we saw out of both of those teams there, but it wouldn't have been as dominant. The fact that Team Space had that game in the palm of their hand for so long, unable to close, and then you try and mentally reset, you go on to Dust 2, you get off to a slow start, it was just way too much for them. CMD, any queries about the MVP? Are you in agreement with me?
No, I think it does make the most sense. I mean, you probably could have made a decent argument for Stico, to be fair. I think Stico's the only other player I would make an argument for, because I do think he had a bit more impact on Dust than Hades did. I mean, Hades, this is the sort of test of how dominant the victory was. I mean, Hades was like 9-6, and he was bottom fragging, and he was probably, in my opinion, one of the least impactful players on Dust. He still had a good game though, and that's the thing. It wasn't just, oh yeah, Demko, anyone was just playing out of their mind. Everyone was at least doing their job, and doing their job very well. But yeah, I think Hades definitely deserves it. I think, like you said, Vertigo, and Vertigo's the main talking point. At the end of the day, Dust was a complete blowout. But Vertigo, the map that I think we're all probably in agreement here, Space should have won. It feels like they were definitely favoured. They were definitely primed to take it, and somehow it's gone against them. But Hades, like you said, definitely did feel like he was a key player with Stico and bringing him there. But overtime specifically, a part where we saw a very different look to Monte, but they didn't drop around 4 in a row. Hades continued to bring that, and that was the thing I'm most impressed by. You see a lot of players have an insane first 10-15 rounds and then drop off. Hades didn't. From start to finish, he was brilliant on Vertigo, and that definitely, for me at least, deserves the MVP for it, yeah.
I think it's a testament where he gets 45 kills and he got 9 on D2, right? And that was a stomp. So fully deserving of that MVP. Our bracket's ready as well, so we can take a look at that. We're nearly there. We've got 3 more round of 16 games to sort of set up our quarterfinals. And Zola, we've actually got one guaranteed now. 9Z versus Monte. Damn, that's an exciting one, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, and I think when you look at the performance shown from 9Z yesterday, I think it wasn't as good as we expected. When we saw the performance on Dust 2 from Monte, far better than anyone could have really thought. So I'm excited for that game. I think 9Z's still going to be favoured, but look, you know, we assumed Space would probably take Dust 2. We would have thought it'd go to a third map here, and, you know, I guess we were wrong. And I'm interested for that game. I think probably when you look at the quarterfinals, I think that one might have a level of excitement that others won't, because I think with Bait and the kind of Permitas and Gal, for me anyway, I think Bait are going to be the favourites regardless who they face. I think they've looked really, really good. I think Saw as well. We've got Passion UA, we've got Gaming Gladiators. Gaming Gladiators have just kind of undergone roster changes. Passion UA, they've had some good results, but also some shaky performances where they've lost to teams they should never really be losing to. And then I think Mal's quote-unquote Fnatic, because I'm going to be thinking they're going to win. I think that one could be interesting as well. But yeah, I think 9Z Monte, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, and look, we actually take a look to that other side of the bracket. That's our next matchup, Sampi versus Fnatic. It's Matty's taking on his old team, which should be a really exciting prospect. We're going to go to a break. When we come back in around about 40 minutes or so, we will have that game for you. Sampi versus Fnatic, coming straight up after this.
Tired of boring case openings? Do you always get only cheap skins? The Hellcase website has tons of options to upgrade your inventory. It's up to you to participate in giveaways, events, or compete with other players in opening cases. Hellcase, your world of expensive skins.
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try Skin Place. Visit the website, select the skins you want to use. Easily fill your Steam trade link. Make sure we offer good prices and choose a payment method. Hit the button and boom! Instant cash. Safety. Low commissions. Instant payouts. Skin Place.
Trying to get the skin of your dream for a long time but can't get it in any way? On our website you have a unique opportunity to get your favorite knife. Users on our site can hand out skins themselves, and participants need to fulfill some simple conditions. For example, watch a video or buy a case on our website. After that, you automatically become a member of the distribution. Go to the user giveaways tab and do what you like. Hellcase.
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try Skin Place. Visit the website, select the skins you want to use. Easily fill your Steam trade link. Make sure we offer good prices and choose a payment method. Hit the button and boom! Instant cash. Safety. Low commissions. Instant payouts. Skin Place.
Welcome back in, everyone. Our second game of the day is about to get underway here. It's still the same cast and colleagues. My name is Brandon, aka B-Dog. I've got Zola and CMD. Let's try and duo about to take you through Fnatic versus Sampi. It should be an exciting one, gents, but before we kind of get into the micro of this game, we should kind of take a look at the macro of the tournament. We should bring out the bracket once more. For those of you that might have missed it, we're on a little bit of a extended break, so we can bring up that bracket. We can take a look at basically how everything is shaping up. As you can see, we've got our first quarter-final matchup definitely set in stone with 9Z versus Monte. In a minute, well, I guess not in a minute, but we're going to kick things off with Sampi versus Fnatic, and we get to see who's going to come and challenge Mal's NXT. I would really like it, biasly, if Fnatic did beat Sampi here. I feel like they should, based on paper, based on recent results, but that would be a really good test for Mal's NXT to kind of see where they're at. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit, guys, because I know we've got a little bit more time here. Zola, if you had to pick any team to win this, good luck. Which one are you picking?
I'll be honest, I don't think it's even that bold of a shout. I reckon Fnatic will take the whole thing. I think when you look at both sides of the bracket, I think Fnatic, they should be able to beat Sampi. We've seen them play Mal's NXT in the last week or so, and that was a pretty dominant 2-0. And then obviously the semi-finals would be against Saw or Passion UA Gaming Gladiators. We've seen them play against those rosters fairly recently, and Fnatic have been victorious. So I think Fnatic, the only team they really need to worry about all too much is 9Z. And that's to say that 9Z are going to make it through Monte. The showing that they had earlier, I think we could see an upset in that regard. But yeah, I'll be honest, maybe a bit kind of UK org bias, but yeah, I'd say Fnatic every day of the week.
It's I had an answer for you.
Yeah.
And then my answer's changed. I want to go with a bold prediction.
Go on.
I really want to say Sangao so badly.
Okay.
So why not? I'm gonna say Sangao. I think Sangao are gonna out all the teams. I was gonna go for Saw.
Right.
I want to go for another bold one, but Sangao not long ago did beat Saw, so not that you can go off of one best of 3, but why not? I'm gonna go for a bold shout. I think a lot of people are sort of sleeping on teams like Saw and Sangao, probably because there are some bigger dogs in here as well, or at least bigger in terms of recent results, but I think these teams can definitely cause a lot of turmoil for some of these guys.
I think more people are definitely sleeping on Sangao than Saw. Yeah, cool. Alright, interesting. I like the fact you went a bit bold, you went a bit out there. And let's take a look at Sampi versus Fnatic, because, again, Fnatic, the invited team here, Sampi came through the group stage. Sampi nearly didn't make it through the group stage. They went 1-0 to kick off their campaign, and then they nearly got eliminated. They went 1-2, and then had to go and fight, claw their way back, win back-to-back best of 3. As you can see, they're right at the bottom there. They just scraped by. And we take a look at this roster. And my biggest conversation piece here for Sampi is always, why aren't they sort of performing at the level you expect them to? Because I remember last year, sort of towards, to be fair for Sampi, like the earliest stages of 2023, they were destroying. And I know they don't have Matties anymore, which is another fun conversation piece we can kind of move into, because it's his first time going up against his old squad. But CMD, why is Sampi not performing to the level that they once did? Is it just because of Matties?
I really don't think it is. I actually do think they've got in some pretty good replacements. I think Manga's coming in. I really like Mangas. I think he's a very good player. I think he offers a lot of impact. Obviously, you can do the direct comparison and say, oh, but Matties is better. I don't think it should make nearly as much of a difference, but it is very fair to say Sampi have fallen off a lot since that time. And we are actually starting to see a little bit of an upwards trajectory. It feels like we're starting to see a bit more consistency, but then after the player break, we came back, saw Series 6, and it feels like we've gone back to a bit more of the inconsistent Sampi. It does feel like consistency is their main issue. Some of it they can come in, look really hot, feel like they can beat pretty much any team, and then a couple of days later they're at another event and they can't get a single win. It feels like they really do need to sort something out. After the Ruby game, I thought the player break has done them a lot of good. They are still in a very similar boat. I don't think it is just Matties. I think it's maybe a bit of a deeper issue, but maybe it was to do with the burnout. They played a lot of games, and I'm hoping now we're going to start to see them fully cement themselves where they should probably be, I think.
Yeah, a couple of things to the Sampi team, in my opinion, is that Savannah hasn't been the same player since CS2 has come out, which has been about a year, which is kind of worrying. Zedko's starting to warm up into things now. It's taken him a while to kind of get integrated into this team, but he's now performing a lot better, which gets me excited. But in recent games, the Alive has been top of the board. And as your IGL, you kind of don't want him at the top of the board. So it's the individual firepower I kind of worry about for this team, especially when you take a look at a team like Fnatic. We'll go ahead and bring up their roster. And there's one player in particular that is popping off right now. Blamef got 70 kills in his last best of 3, which is ridiculous, and that was against Passion UA in a grand final, no less. But it's not just Blamef. Zola, what about the other guys on this team?
Yeah, I think when it comes to this Fnatic team, it's been nearly half a year since their kind of biggest roster changes of Body, of Matties, of Blamef. But I feel like Matties is always going to be a player you talk about, and I feel like he was really the talk of the town in that tier 2 scene when playing for Sampi. I think, yes, Sampi maybe have other issues at hand, but yeah, Matties was well above anyone else on that roster. When you look back to when he was playing for Sampi, nearly every rating for all the events he's playing at is in the green, and they're heavily in the green. It's a 1.48, a 1.32, 1.38, and that's average rating across a whole event, not just one best of 3. And I think they have lost a lot of firepower. You mentioned Mangus and Zedko coming in, but I don't think they have in fact replaced the individual, because Matties is incredible. He's now playing against better opponents. He's kind of fighting off in these bigger events, and he's still competing. He's still looking very, very good as an individual, and I think that's something that it's really tough to face off against, because yes, okay, Blamef is playing incredible, but so is Matties. And we're still having moments from the likes of Body, Afro as well, and that's the scary thing about this Fnatic roster is, yes, they've made recent roster changes, but already it seems like they've kind of solidified, and that's why they've got themselves to, a bit of a settled place here.
I mean, I think it's fair to say this is not the Fnatic of old, anywhere near. They aren't a team that is going to be winning the biggest events in the world right now, but it does feel like they definitely are on a positive streak, a bit of a positive journey right now. They did look pretty visible. Fnatic are a team that have always infuriated me. They're always a team I love to watch when I first got into CS, but they really have not been anywhere near that for a number of years now. But they are currently in their best placing in this whole year, and it feels like that's a fair result, judging by their recent events that they have. They definitely have had this upwards turn. It feels like the team is starting to click a little bit more. It feels like we're starting to see a bit more consistency from them. And the individuals, because there is a lot of individuals on this team,
are actually able to hit at the same time, it feels like. I do like the Fnatic team. I feel like we're in a good position for them. I do think maybe they're one big event away from sort of one big win away from really starting to settle themselves as one of these top tier 2s and going into the tier 1 team once again.
Yeah, we saw that head-to-head just pop up on the screen there as well. I think it's really interesting to kind of have that Matties and Zedco conversation piece because for it, rating is very similar. People will look at this and they'll be like, oh, okay, well, actually, like for like, it feels like potentially Zedco has stood in for Matties. But you got to consider the caliber of opposition that Fnatic have been facing, where they are kind of the better team. They have been playing it against better opposition. So the fact that Matties is still averaging a better rating, it is by 0.01, but it's a better rating, and he's moved upwards, sort of on the ladder to kind of in the CS sphere, and that's really impressive for him. I don't think he's gonna show any mercy either against his old team. I think it'll be really interesting to kind of see these two battle it out, but where will they battle it out? And Zola, got any predictions with the veto about which way it's going in, which direction?
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough for Sampi, because when you look at the vetoes, Fnatic are going to be banning Nuke, Sampi are going to be banning Vertigo. Anything else that I'd be very surprised, but it's the fact that Fnatic get basically a bit of a free win on map number 1, or whoever gets to choose, and it is Fnatic picking map number 1. Inferno, if it's not picked, I'll be very surprised, and obviously it is, because Fnatic, it's their best map, it's Sampi's worst. So you look at that first map, you know, Fnatic are going to be very confident when you look at their recent results on Inferno. It's not only dominant, but it's consistently dominant. So, and these are against big rosters, you know, 13-3 against Complexity, a 13-5 against Eternal Fire, besting Big and Imperial, a close loss to NIP. These are strong results of Fnatic, and then on the flip side for Sampi, it's been a lot of losses. It's been a hell of a lot of losses on Inferno. So I think map number 1 should only ever go the way of Fnatic. I think Sampi not only picking into their strengths here, but quite similarly Fnatic's weaknesses. So I think it could be a 3-mapper, something that not many people might have been expecting, but Sampi got plenty of reps on Anubis. Fnatic pretty weak on it as well. So I'm excited. I think we could actually get 3 maps on this final on this final series for us today, because Sampi have looked strong on Anubis. And Charlie mentioned a player like Mangas, usually playing towards E-Box on that CT side. The level of creativity and kind of aggression that Mangas takes just on his own is really impressive. But I don't know whether he's going to have that similar game plan against a strong side like Fnatic.
I'm going to steal it away before I give it back to you, Charlie, because I want to talk a little bit about Anubis and why I think it's actually really interesting that Fnatic are playing this map, because obviously they've got their perma, but when Blame F comes into the team, in effect, in official capacity, Blame F has only been playing Anubis for 2 months because he weren't playing it when they were on Astralis. So I think that's a conversation point as to maybe why they've not been looking so good, because they are still having time to get Blame F fully integrated sort of into official capacity of Anubis, right?
Yeah, it definitely feels like it has to be an element of it. There's been a number of sort of teams who don't play a map. You see them brought into another roster. There is a bit of a teething period with it, especially with that player's performances sometimes. But it is a map that I think is reasonably simple for a player like Blame F especially to understand. And I think with the player break, that certainly would have, hopefully at least, we would have seen any Anubis problems sort of be sussed out a little bit. But I do think they would have a lot more time to look things over. I wouldn't be surprised if we see over these next few months Fnatic's Anubis stats completely flip on their head. Maybe not going to be incredible, but I imagine they're going to be significantly better than a 27%. I do think the vetoes are pretty standard. I don't think there's anything we weren't expecting here. I think these are literally the exact maps we probably could have all predicted before this game. Maybe if you can make the argument Ancient or Dust, something like that, but I think Ancient was pretty clear cut for both these teams. This is still going to be a hell of a task for Sampi though.
Yeah,
especially with things kicking off on Inferno. What do you think though, Brandon?
I think it'd be difficult. I think what's interesting with it is, you're right, they have the choice to kind of go Ancient or D2. I think it makes the most sense for Sampi to go Ancient just because of more reps, but also the individuals on Fnatic are scary. You're then taking it to an aim map. No, you kind of just want to kind of have all the mid control and potentially the lane control. But, you know, Zola thinks it's going to go to 3. Which is kind of exciting. That's a bit of a bold take. I think personally it's just going to be 2-0. Are you kind of siding here with your duo, or are you with me?
I try to always not side with Fred when I can, and I think this is going to be another one. Yeah, I think it's going to be a 2-0. I think, although Fnatic's Anubis hasn't looked great, I really do believe there's going to be a different look to this Fnatic on Anubis. I think Inferno is going to be a map that, if Sampi can make it competitive, I think that's a success story in itself. But I can't see a world in which they take it. Anubis is 100% their best chance to do any damage against this Fnatic roster, and even then I think we are going to see a different look to Fnatic, and I wouldn't be surprised if, like you, Brandon, think it's going to be a bit of a clean 2-0.
Well, we'll have to go and see. Inferno, we're about to kick things off. So, Zola, CMD, take it away.
Inferno though here, Fred, map number 1.
Yeah.
I said I think it's impossible for Sampi to take it. We'll see if they can make the impossible possible here. With a pissed round victory would be a huge way to kick things off against the tyrants of Fnatic.
Yeah, I think maybe when looking a little deeper into Anubis, I'm still going to talk about the vetoes because hopefully this is a slow pistol from Fnatic, but when you see Sampi actually facing off against bigger opponents and stronger teams, their Anubis has actually looked pretty weak. They lost 13-1 to Cybershock, they lost 13-1 to 9, and that was 2 days ago now, so yeah, maybe I'll retract my statement with the 3 maps, but who knows?
You said it, you're locked in now.
No take-backs.
No take-backs tonight. Gotta have someone to laugh at. Well, I'm right. That is Edgo. And Savannah both playing this smoke. This could be devastating, but the flashbang is really strong. Savannah's Julie's by nothing in body with a double opening.
Yeah, great way to kick things off. Just a fast pop through the smoke, and although Sampi was set up for it, certainly not prepared for that flash. So much utility invested here from Fnatic, but look what it's gained. Matty's lovely find onto Finno. Searching for the second of Mangus, but he's yet to protrude, yet to show his hand, and Mangus now to be peeking out, bit of a body spam, but successful, peeking into 2, and Blame F gets himself on the score sheet here in the Aleve. All that remains in this 1 versus 4. No armor even to save, so you might just look for a couple picks, but I doubt he's going to find much more than 1. Makes his way in, but the Julie surely to connect, and Crims gets his first, but that opener, the opening picks from body were really key. It just instantly shut down anything for Sampi. Both players continually blind. They had no real chance there. Zedko even through the smoke, but Fnatic, I think they've started off how they expect to be, not only on the front foot, but also kind of asserting dominance. Look, you can drop that smoke, you can have 2 sets of Julies behind it. We're going straight through and ripping your defenses apart.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a decent bit of this. The sort of lack of respect play style, overwhelming, swarming, just brute forcing their way into portions of the map. The nades look well timed in body, dropped down to 32 points of health. As the Frenchman probably can't get as aggressive as he wants.
It's something that I love from this Fnatic roster. They've all opted for kind of utility over weaponry. We don't have a single AK. Everyone for Fnatic had full pieces of utility. So I think maybe Fnatic were predicting a force buy. They wanted to ensure that they can take this position towards Banana. Now they've got it. We could see some form of acceleration, but Sampi looks as though they're going to take a bit of a gamble. Not going to be easy to find much through the smokes, but in fact, Blame F going to be sending the util out now. This is just kind of a little bit of a fake in the hopes to find these picks. Do see a double, but as predicted, Fnatic going to be backing away. They've taken so much control here towards A. That's the problem that Sampi are going to be facing. Bit of a running race of which they have lost. Body, he's low, he's alone, and Long could have been pressured here by Sampi.
Yeah, that could have probably been the only real chance Sampi get back into this round. I was surprised Body didn't go for apartments, but didn't seemingly care. Is going to be planting that bomb.
I think Blame
is just, yeah, holding these rotations. I don't know how much he's actually going to want to push into the site.
He just wants to make sure the Khalil's not retrieved. I think that's his goal. Like, I'm going to make sure that they don't have the chance for it. He's fired off a lot of bullets. He's going to have to reload in a second. And this is where they can look to push. Timing looks good. They are still going to be peeking. He's got the Glock in hand. And the smoke, oh, I like it.
It's from Body, but it is the low HP Body. Nice find, though.
Knows Blade strapped. And a pick found. It's big, but the 2 Mag 10s in fact can upgrade. They can get those Khalils back.
Still a couple of kills. Found for Sampi. it's, to be fair, it's a pretty solid eco. Wasted a solid bit of util for Fnatic. Took down 2 of their players. Pretty successful, all things considered. Fred, all out on Finno.
Yeah, I think it's kind of what we saw in the second map of that first series. Danis was bringing out the AWP straight away because it's that kind of necessity, the knowledge that Fnatic are going to be a really strong side. I've got to get the big green out. Okay, yeah, I don't have armor, don't have utility, but if I'm not with the AWP, I'm not the true form, I'm not the real player that everyone knows you can be, because Finno, he can have so much impact on that AWP. So it's clear that Sampi, they're taking risks, but I think in the kind of same extent, they know that to have a possibility at besting Fnatic, they need to have that AWP in play.
I want to go for it as soon as possible. 3B set up right now for the CT side. Timing isn't the best for the Alive. But Mangus, oh no, this is actually ridiculous. Feels like kills favoured a few times for Sampi, but still they are the ones to find the opening kill with Finno's up towards B. Mangus almost with the double. Drops Matty's down to 16 points of health, but here's the Alive's push.
Yeah, bomb site is open. Plant can come through, and Crims very much prepared for the Alive. It's just whether the Alive is ready for Crims. Certainly not, but he's dealt a lot of damage. And this is where Fnatic really going to struggle here. There is a kit in play on Savannah as well. Crims, he's just going to need to try and delay with that Molotov. But Savannah can send out that HE at any moment, and Crims will fall. And there it is. All on Matty's. 1 versus 3 here. He's going to hear the swarm of steps. We'll get one, but surely a trade to come through in a second. Oh, we found Zedko!
No.
The Orb of Finno's all that remain! But is there enough time? He needs to retrieve the kit. I don't think he's got it. I think Matty's is questioning it as well. A little bit of a smile, but no. No defuse,
Wow.
no Orb. And what a round from the low HP Matty's. And that shows signs of things to come. A 1 versus 3 scenario. Not only does he find the kind of unknowing Savannah, but the fact he takes down Zedko as well. But what a round.
Wins on 10 HP. I can't believe that. Finno does take him down. You always feel sorry for someone like that in the situation. But it is brutal. I mean, this was great. First kill, and then just a kill onto Zedko. So clean.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But we mentioned Finno. He took the risk of bringing out the big green. There was no armor, no util, and of course, no defuse kit. And straight away, Sampi, they're going to feel cheated in that round. Because that should have been theirs to win. After Crims goes down, they would have known that Matty's had been chipped away at because Mangus, that was the altercation that he nearly won. It could have been a double for Mangus, and then we're looking at an even better kind of situation for Sampi, but still, somehow it goes away from them. And that's kind of the level that these individuals can bring from Fnatic. Because Matty's, okay, yeah, finds the first, but Zedko should be getting that trade every day.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the fact that it feels like Sampi, the round that we did see from them is even the worst moments where they lose the 1v1s, they still do 90 damage to Grims, 90 damage to Matty, all this sort of thing. It feels like everything in the round was going well for Sampi until that final hurdle, which the impossible somehow happened.
Seems as though there's some slight tech issues on the side of Fnatic. As you can see, Body has got a new headset on. So hopefully that'll all be sorted soon. But yeah, I think Fnatic, they've started things off very nicely here on Inferno. It's expected. It's their map selection. And Charlie, I feel like this is a point that we kind of talk about quite a lot. You know, quite frequently, teams struggle to kind of have that one map that they can show complete dominance on. And Inferno is very difficult for that to be said map. But Fnatic, 10 maps played, 8 victories. It's very convincing.
Yeah. It certainly is. I mean, Body's giving us some smiles. Is that an indication, do you think?
Well, look, I think Fnatic are going to be happy with the result of that last round. I think once Crims topples by the HE, I don't think anyone expected a third to go the way of Fnatic.
Sounds like there's been a few Message thrown in chat, and it certainly does mean that the ready call has been made. Round number 4, 3-0 start for Fnatic. Sampy just going to be on the partial investment. Finno obviously playing for the AWP. I wouldn't be surprised if this time if he buys a defuse kit.
Yeah, I think it's a tough one, and I think that's always the problem with those kind of first round investments is you're never really going to have a full buy. There's always going to be either the cost of utility, maybe weaponry. We saw it for Finno, it was armor, but yeah, it's always a tough one. As you can see though, Finno, he's just got the 5-7 in play, no util, no Kevlar. He wants to make sure he can get that AWP out as quick as possible, but I'm liking the aggressive stance here from Blame. Don't know if he spotted the player towards Ruins. It might have come up on the minimap, but just a bit of a fake. Sampy have been kind of sold a ruse as Lane gets a kind of a lot of space towards B and instantly backs away. It's going to be this pop towards A, and with the smoke coming down towards Long, back towards Moto. But Body's getting very aggressive here. Flash has been dropped, and this is where Mangas could swing, but he's holding his ground, and Matties will find. Body gets the trade as well onto the Aleve. And locked out of the bomb site currently, Stampy up.
Yeah, bomb will go down in due time as Body is actually holding the flanks for now. As of the bomb, the site has been fully cleared and Body is going to now make his way on there and plant that bomb. From there, Sampy feels like exits are going to be best case scenario. See if he can steal an AK away.
Already though, Savannah's so slow to kind of progress down Banana, so worried that there's a late lurk looking to deny.
Yeah, it wasn't towards CT as well, I think, and just sort of opted go back towards B. But we'll see if there's any chance for Sampy to do some damage.
I kind of like the lack of risks taken from Fnatic in that round. You mentioned that Body was just holding the flanks, kind of waiting for the smokes to fade, and I like that Fnatic are taking their time. I think they realise that Stampede, it's going to be this half fight. There could be plenty of players just sitting waiting behind these smokes. So yeah, I like how Fnatic are kind of showing so far. I feel like, yes, there's that level of disrespect when it comes to taking the initial portion and looking for those first fights, but when it comes down to the middle portion of the round, Fnatic seem very calculated in their decisions.
There's never any need just to sort of throw your life away because you're against the partial buy. And Fnatic made sure that they weren't losing anyone's life unnecessarily. Got the AWP out for both sides in this one.
Yeah, we talk about Inferno T side sometimes being a bit of a tough one for the AWPs, but what a nade onto Blame. Could be see a second one coming down as well. And there it is, 1 HP. With the double nade coming through, you'd assume that Zedco might think that this position's clear, but Body sends himself through the smoke with the flash, but Zedco finds again. And with Finno eliminating Matties, it's a 5-on-2, and Zedco's hungry, he's hunting for more, and Afro not ready for it, not in the slightest, but what a round from Zedco.
Yeah, it looked like he could have got taken down before he even got started. I blame F, just switched the utility though. And managed to go on and find 3. Dominant round, Afro not even able to be given a chance with the AWP.
Yeah, and this is where for Sampy, they've just got to ensure that they win this round as kind of convincingly as possible. Reducing the casualties will be the goal. Zedco, a little bit worried that Crims is still sitting around towards T-spawn, but soon realises he's not. Problem is, Savannah might not be ready for this. He's got a teammate in T-spawn. Oh, but Zedco finally emerges. Will find, just holding the cross. 4k from Zedco in that one. As mentioned, no casualties for Sampy, so a bit of a bank gonna be built, and that's exactly what you need, especially on the CT side. We know how costly the economy can be.
Oh, I love that. Instant turn up from Fnatic.
They ain't playing no games. They want to make sure they best their opponents in the most dominant fashion possible.
They just want to make sure they best their opponents first and foremost. Body pushing through is a big risk. Doesn't pay out. But so far, every round Finno's had the AWP. He's found impact with it.
Yeah, and I think for Sampy, if Finno can just get one pick, That's all that they really need. I think flashy moments for Sampi's not going to win them this game. It's going to have to come from kind of a real team effort. Obviously, we see Zedco finding 4 in that one, but I think, yeah, I think Sampi, everyone going to have to be stepping up. Everyone going to have their moments here on Inferno. I think it's going to be very difficult for them to win it, but if they make things close, if they bring it to maybe, you know, 10 rounds, 9 or 10, I think it'll be a real confidence booster for them, especially because of how good Fnatic are. But Matty's very much prepared for the Elite's aggression, gives them that opener. And Finno, not too confident about keeping himself towards top mid. Savannah, though, looking to get aggressive, but Crim's holding, and Crim's could find here. Timing is excellent. Matty takes down Mangus, and that's what sparks Savannah's swivel. Straight away as that kill comes through, Savannah so hesitant about apartments. Finno, though, will get one. Realizes he's going to try and fight his way out. The round won't go their way, so it will just be the same. Nice from Finno to find Blame, though. And that is his avenue to escape, but Fnatic find their 5th.
Nice bit of impact there from Matty's as well, but I mean, Finno, nice few kills from him as well. It's good that we're seeing Finno sort of hit the ground running. Obviously, unfortunate Sampi unless he posted any rounds alongside it, but sometimes we can see a lot of AWPers. Finno sometimes being one of them, where they can be very quiet to start a series or at least start a map, and it takes them a little while to warm into things, but yeah, I think he's had, might be 5 or 6 rounds, 5 or 6 kills, sorry, in 3 rounds of the AWP, I believe. Which is quite a nice stat one to have.
Yeah, it's important as well. I think Sampi, they need everything going in their way, but when you look at the kills so far, Mangus, a player that we praise so heavily, only 2, Savannah, just the 1, and timing for Savannah in that one was a little bit tough, and I think with Mangus falling in apartments, that's kind of the, that was a big problem, but Fnatic already are looking very, very convincing. Not only to take Inferno, but to take it dominantly.
Util up mid hit. Fnatic looking to hit brackets early. Flashbangs, Util being lined up, and look at the speed that we're seeing Longby here with great counter flash. The Alive Hex body down so low. Made in response as well.
Mangus towards mini pit, needs to go huge, but Matty's at range will find Crims as well, eliminating the Alive. And I think it's very reactive from Fnatic. You see the Blame F, he gets the information that there's going to be at least 2, potentially 3 players towards Banana. The second that deep smoke comes through, Fnatic instant, you know what, we got to take brackets. They fall into their positions and they take it so quickly. And I think that's something that Fnatic can be heavily praised for. It was an error that we saw throughout a lot of the last series, the hesitant and kind of the slower play T rounds, but Fnatic looking good in that one as well.
Yeah, they really did. And forcing Sampi into the save again. 6-1 is the score early on here. We are at least seeing a few glimpses from Sampi. But the only issue from them is been quite few and far between, and Fnatic have very much had their number. It's a great call though. Calling's been very good here.
Already, I think Fnatic are going to be happy. Securing 6 on the T side. A map that's fairly even split. You know, there's 5 more rounds for them to take, and I think a vast majority will go their way. Sampi, they're continually saving, and that's why the money of a player like Finno, he's only got 2 deaths, Charlie. We've already seen 7 rounds of play, and it's the continual saving, but I think we need to see a bit more aggression from Sampi. They've got to be a little bit more on the front foot, and I don't mean as in taking space, because yes, they've got banana control. I mean going for those early peaks with the AWP, because that's what Finno needs to be doing. Finding these openers, giving the kind of the space and deterring Fnatic.
Then I'm holding. Not going to be given a shot just yet. It could be an apartment pop. You know, can get very easily caught out if it is. Molotov drops at the perfect time, but you can see what he does push out. Angus with a double though, feels like he does enough, but Matty's with 2 of his own. 1 versus 3 here. I'll find the first, not ready. Yeah, Molotov perfectly drops. You see body goes, and it does make things very difficult.
Sammy, though, they need this kind of continuation. I think the nade onto Crims was nice and the molly to follow. We see Blame, I believe, just jumping out of apartments in the hopes that a trade would come through, but a little delayed from Fnatic to creep on out. Different approach.
Brandon did obviously mention Savannah hasn't looked great for a little while now. Has felt like his individual form has dropped off quite a bit. Similar statement here, sadly, just 1 kill. He's all mustering for now. Body. Gonna be meeting Zedko through the smoke, but Zedko wins the fight. Afro goes down to Zedko as well, and we really have had a bit of a king of banana in Zedko, who fights his 3rd.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. He's gonna push through the smoke as well. In classic Zedko fashion, surely to find Matty's.
He's on for the ace.
I think he's gonna find it. There we go, nice tap to finish, and Zedko. Brilliant round there once again. And I think this has got to be the deterrent here for Fnatic. They can't keep heading towards the B-bomb site because it seems all too easy for Zedko.
Really doesn't shy away from anything though. Wants to get stuck in the face of the Fnatic players, and he's putting up a good show.
And it's the fact that it's Sampy's individuals that are looking to show no respect, and Zedko especially, he's looking to get really deep towards Banana on his own there. Very little support, and it's not as though that much utility was thrown as well. So I think it's the fact that Fnatic were expecting a little bit more of a passive approach from Sampy, maybe a little bit more of a timid CT side, but Zedko... I like that there from Magus. I don't know if he spotted him, and he shot the gun away to ensure the weaponry cannot be retrieved.
And a stronghold towards brackets. I think Fnatic realised they were going slightly too 1 by 1, so now waiting. They'll look to hit something a bit more together.
Positioning here for Magus is good. Could send an HE grenade into Boiler. We'll be going towards middle. With that though, Afro knows he can't hold the angle, but Zedko creeping close. Zedko. Ooh, nice shot from Afro. 2nd on the dig now. Weaponry can eventually be retrieved. They are going to be going into a double stack bomb site, but Afro gifted the AWP to work with. Sadly, Magus will eliminate. Great shot from Blame F though.
Ooh, not far off. Really refusing to pick up the AWP.
I like this from Blame F. The fake steps. It wouldn't have been heard either, but it's the fact that Savannah, he's gonna have to go back towards the B-bomb site. If Blame finds the elite, there's a real chance here. I don't think Blame's gonna be ready for it, but he does find. Oh, the crosshair placement. The reaction time is incredible from Blame F. And the second he's been called upon, Charlie, that's when Blame F seems to strike. A 1v3 with no Kevlar.
He's looked super sharp with the AK so far, looking towards short, clearing out brackets. Soon he's gonna get a good inkling. Just tucking. Forcing Savannah to waste time. Savannah does have double flashes, so can at least delay slightly.
Steps have been heard. Savannah needs to realise Blameless just here towards short. Savannah will take him down, but it's a costly round. That was an eco there from Fnatic. Not only a bomb plant, but we see 4 kills, and Savannah very close to death himself.
Still around victory. Oh, what a way to get the early kill.
Kind of been begging Feno to be peeking a little bit more aggressively. In the first round he does. He gets caught out by that boost.
I mean, great attempt from Blame F. I question him not wanting to pick up the AWP. He's clearly feeling it with the rifle. Wasn't far off, get taken down Savannah as well.
And for a game that Blame F's been fairly quiet in, it was 2 and 6 before that, but let's see what more he can do. Fino going to be peeking in, and oh, the collateral chance! And the utility is impeccable. Savannah dropped down to 2 HP, and this is where Fnatic could look to accelerate towards B, but no, they've fallen back. They're going to look to try and take brackets, and there's still 3 defenders here from Sampy. Turn
Great
from the
flashbang. Brilliant double there. Plays like that can so easily go wrong, but Zedco towards pit. Normally a B player. Laboured spray slightly.
That's tough.
Honestly, it feels like Fnatic like made a play like that just so they could kill everybody. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah, possibly.
Savannah's the solo B defender right now. 2 HP. Let's go back A and kill all the other full HP players. I mean, either way, brilliant round from Fnatic.
Teammates.
Maybe a bit unconventional, but they take down all 5, keep all 5 of theirs alive, and it's a 7-4 half. 8 potentially on the horizon.
Yeah, I think the brilliant thing about that is a lot of the time you'll see flashes coming through, but we saw the Elite turn. He was able to kind of not be blinded by it, but it's the fact that the T's were perfectly through that smoke. There was no delay. There was no kind of any ability for the Elite to find that pick. I think if Sambi can kind of scrape a 5th, won't be too disappointed at all. Zedco, though, he's been hit heavy with the HEs. And it is this solo B defense.
Flashback, a lot of information gained there. Just from Zedco alone.
Seems as though it's going to be forcing Fnatic to potentially change their tune. Savannah flashed into middle, but Matty's just going to force him back. And it is going to be this B play now. The Aleve needs to rotate in time. Utility is still in play here for Zedco. That's got a nade that could send through the smoke, and that's exactly what we are going to be seeing, but sadly nothing spotted. The Aleve creeping close. Ooh, nearly takes down the bomb carrier of Playmeth.
Oh, I thought that was a nade. Pushing through.
Bomb's not down.
Rims. Oh, in the smoke. People are so lost, and yet Matties is standing tall against his old team. Gets a double in man advantage once again for Fnatic. Flashbang's good. Matties messes up the movement a bit. Isn't allowed to cross Finno 1 versus 2.
It's been a very hectic round. I feel like not many people have known what's going on, and now it's seemed to settle, but Finno 1 versus 2, Afro peeking. Gives the chance for Finno, but the second Afro emerges, that's when Finno grabs some util. So timing works out well. Fnatic take their 8th, but Matty's doing very well against his old team. It seems as though it's a bit of a an advanced 1v1 between Matty's and Zedco. Both of them on 13 kills.
Yeah, it feels, honestly, it feels a bit like a rivalry right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Which it certainly could be. But it is exciting to see. It is definitely quite a good storyline to touch on, because both of them are doing really well, and both of them seem very focused. Focused and ready for this game. It makes it a very interesting watch.
Well, it's kind of the old style versus the new, and so far, all even. Blameeth, so much work to do here. I've got a flash in the hands of Body. It's going to be sent out now. Oh, timing is perfect. Blameeth spotted all 5, but sadly no kills to come. Body now tasked with delaying. Afro might be able to get himself into the action beforehand. No one's crossed yet, but with the smoke down, things get even more difficult. And now Body, trapped towards Nubox, needs to find picks, but Savannah takes him down. But Afro, an important kill, it can delay. It also gives him that pick back. Oh, Matty's falls through the smoke. The timing for Zedco is perfect, and it's Crims. A 1v4 on the pistol, but Sampi gonna be securing this one, surely.
Yeah, Crim's been a little bit quiet this game, hasn't had too much to do, but this would be a clutch for the ages if he can pull this off. Looking like he might just want to get a couple of kills. I think he even got a ding there as well.
Oh, it's that one.
Round does go the way of Sampi, but I mean, it definitely does make for an interesting storyline. Sort of one player moving on to a bigger org, and you're up against your replacement. Bit of bad blood, maybe. It probably isn't, but it's exciting to talk about.
I think Sampi would have been very happy with Matty's in general. I think he's done a lot for the roster, done a lot for the team. You'd hope there wouldn't be bad blood, but who knows?
Still always going to be that sort of friendly rivalry at least to say, oh, let's show him he shouldn't have left our team, or let's beat them so they don't show me I should have left the team.
Yeah, look,
that sort of thing.
Matty's was a part of the roster for nearly 2 years. About a year and a half, you know. I'm sure he's still in good contact with these Stampy guys.
Here we have it, Stampy though looking towards A, and it's just the eco. Flashbang comes out and some of the swings, but Mangus deals with it well.
Yeah, the Mac 10's looking to make the most.
Mangus finds his third in the round. Crim's peeks on out just for Mangus to find him.
Ooh, damage down the body. Gonna fall, no ace for Mangus, but all 5 found with the Mac 10s.
Yeah, really gonna be good for the finances. I'd love to honestly see like an AWP come out and 1B drop to Finno for the Galil. That's exactly what we're seeing. Yeah, get rid of one of those Mac 10s. Drop the AWP over to Finno.
I think it's well.
Big green ASAP.
Stampy also realised, like, okay, yeah, we can play it like a bit of a bonus, keep these Mac 10s in play, or we can just get the AWP out. Maybe another rifle, just ensure victory, because Fnatic though, once again, utilising their second pulse here. Look at the utility here though for Fnatic. Straight away, just because of the Mac 10s in play, we've got 4 players with head armour.
Yeah, and obviously a few Galils as well, so it feels like it's a bit of a necessity for Fnatic. Yeah, util very lackluster. Only Matty is taking the hit and dropping down to FAMAS.
Big round though, Stampy. They find success, they should level up the game 8-8. Flash to come through, and Banana kind of taken here now by Fnatic. Needed the smoke though. And Stampy see nothing.
This isn't much closer scoreline than I was expecting. 8-6 right now, especially the way that Fnatic were looking. Definitely not running away with things, but Stampy putting up a good fight so far.
Yeah, this is going to be the true test. The first weaponry investment for Fnatic, although not perfect. They've got the rifles in play, and we saw how kind of great the individuals were here for Fnatic. Seems as though they're taking a bit of a gamble, though, leaving Matty's alone here towards B, and a rotation going to come through from Body. He's sending the smoke out here. Body, though, has rotated in. Very effective, and now